Should have paid sick leave. Every developed country in the world has it. We don't. But nonetheless, we have an improved situation.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi with the broad impacts of a potential strike in mind. Railroad Workers United just out with a statement slamming the president for not asking Congress to make the terms more favorable for workers, though. Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell says some Republicans may be inclined to vote against the bill. Walmart is being sued by a survivor of the mass shooting at a Virginia store last week, faulting the company for continuing to employ the gunmen.
Danya Prelo's lawsuit asks for $50 million and appears to be the first legal action taken following the shooting that killed 6 store workers and wounded several others. Store supervisor Andre Bing apparently took his own life afterward. Prelo's lawsuit claims she has experienced PTSD after seeing co-workers shot and killed in front of her. She also alleges Bing directed inappropriate comments toward her. She says Walmart should have known about Bing's behavior, but failed to restrict his access and start a look into his background.
Fox's Gernal Scott. In a must-win match against Iran at the World Cup, Team USA scores first.
Austin McKay, Des making a big run. It's meant for him. Des is snuck in behind. Des into the middle. Pulisic scores! Might have paid the price, but the U.S. takes the lead.
That just a short time ago in the 38th minute on Fox Sports. They are still in the first half, still 1-0. The U.S. can't advance to the knockout round without a win. America's listening to Fox News.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Podcasts.
Severe weather bearing down on the Mississippi Valley, a risk of flooding and tornadoes.
You know, it doesn't feel like November here in Jackson, Mississippi. It's 74 degrees, so there's a lot of energy here in the atmosphere and a lot of potential for some strong storms, some strong tornadoes.
Fox Weather's Max Gordon. Forecasters are warning that tornadoes could stay on the ground for long distances in parts of the South today. This goes from Texas to Indiana and Georgia as well. During that White House meeting between the president and congressional leaders earlier today, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says the president was asking about McCarthy's recent trip to the southern border.
But we had a in-depth conversation about the security of the border and fentanyl coming across, killing our younger generation.
McCarthy also emphasizing the volume of the migrant surge and that there aren't enough border agents, inviting the president to join him on a trip to see for himself. The U.S. Supreme Court hearing arguments on a challenge to a change in immigration policy that shifted who's deported and why.
Texas and Louisiana sued the Biden administration after Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas issued a memo last fall. This memo shifted the priorities of Immigration Customs Enforcement to deport those who'd recently entered the country and to those considered a national security risk or public safety threat. So others who may be here illegally but who are not new arrivals were not considered a priority. Texas and Louisiana argued that sort of policy decision can't come from the White House, that's up to Congress and the Immigration and Nationality Act. In a 5-4 decision recently, the Supreme Court sided with the Biden administration in its effort to end the Remain in Mexico asylum program. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
It's been a mixed day overall on Wall Street, but right now, an hour to the close, stocks turning lower again. The Dow is down 63 points. The S&P and the NASDAQ also in the red. Oil prices getting back over $78 a barrel. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutriWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutriWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Half a day, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 6:06 on Wednesday, November 30. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. It took less than an hour for a jury to return a guilty verdict yesterday for 30-year-old AJ Muña Tovez for armed robbery at Valencia's check-cashing service in Harmon in July. Court documents state that Tovez was wearing a hockey mask and demanded money from an employee. The employee and two others then went to the manager's office, locked the door, and called the police. They heard Tovez banging on the door, and then they heard gunshots. When police arrived, Tovez had already fled in a green pickup truck. A high-speed chase ensued, and Tovez ran into a jungle area, leaving his wallet and ID in the vehicle. He was found about a week later. Tovez is scheduled to be sentenced on February 23 and faces between 5 and 40 years in prison. Meanwhile, Archbishop Michael Burns is urging Guam senators to vote on the Heartbeat Act before the 36th Guam legislature ends its term. Senator Talina Nelson's Bill 291 would place restrictions on access to abortion on Guam. Modeled after stateside anti-abortion laws, the Guam Heartbeat Act prohibits doctors from performing abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected. It provides exceptions for medical emergencies where a pregnant woman would lose her life or her health would be severely impaired. The legislature has paused discussion on the divisive bill, and the Archbishop has asked Vice Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes to reconsider her early position to skip the bill and to place the measure on the legislative agenda for December. In his letter, Archbishop Burns urged lawmakers to vote for the bill's passage. We'll have more news after this.
Farewell, ANZ Bank. You've been an excellent corporate citizen for 30-plus years. And yes, we're competitors, but we're sorry to see you go. Now let us address the bank's customers. Bank Pacific's arms are wide open to accept your banking needs, whether it be to handle your savings, commercial checking, merchant business, or consumer or commercial loan needs. We're open on Saturdays in 4 convenient locations and have excellent online banking services. And we're staying, for as you might know, where others put branches, we place roots. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
It's not a funny prank, says Mangilaw Mayor Alan Ungacta, after the village's iconic giant chili pepper was stolen in broad daylight. Yesterday morning, the 700-pound mascot Doni was taken, and Ungacta says it would take about 7 people to carry it. The mayor says he was disappointed to learn that it was taken and is appealing for its undamaged return, saying it's Mangilaw's icon and that people associate it with the Doni festival. The mayor says the chili pepper was last seen in its usual perch where the Mangilaw night market is held, beside Santa Teresita Church. Anyone with information is asked to call police or the Mangilaw Mayor's office. And South Korean Air Force service members are on Guam to participate in Operation Christmas Drop through December 12. Operation Christmas Drop is a humanitarian program aimed at Micronesia and is the Pentagon's longest-running humanitarian and disaster relief training mission. The ROK Air Force says the U.S. military first invited South Korea to participate in the humanitarian mission last year, along with Japanese self-defense forces that also joined alongside South Korea air personnel. This year, Australian and New Zealand Air Force forces will also join. Preliminary Christmas drop training will continue until this Saturday, and the airdrop itself will run from December 4 to December 9 and include provisions of medicine, clothing, and other goods to island communities in the Pacific. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now, here's Ray with your weather.
Did you make me weather today?
Of course I did.
Okay, just checking.
Well, it's crappy. That's for damn sure.
Oh man! You know, since we've all been doing the morning show here, maybe one other time in 4 years that I've had to sit outside in the car waiting for the rain to stop coming. When I left the house, beautiful, absolutely good. I see every star up in the sky. It's beautiful. It's like this baby Jesus up there. And then I get in the car and I make my way through Teeds, and all of a sudden it starts raining. I'm going, yeah, this is a passing shower. And it took about forever to pass. I had to have Real Joe come out there with the umbrella, the big golf umbrella that we have, and come and escort me and my worldly goods back into the radio station. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, it was just crazy. And then you had the same problem here this morning as well. All right, so it could be like that. On the other end, could end up being a beautiful day. Partly sunny is in the forecast today with highs near 86 degrees. East winds 15 to 17 miles an hour, gusting as high as about 22. Current conditions, I get the radar up on the screen so you can see exactly what it was that was keeping us wet. That whole thing that you just saw wash over the island and move over to the west, that's where we were not that long ago. So expect some scattered showers and thunderstorms before noon today. I think I've got an updated satellite map that I can put up on the screen, as you can see what's going on. If not, let me update that now so you can see that pattern that's moving from the east to the west. Maybe once it passes us, we'll be all right. Otherwise, isolated showers, partly cloudy skies tonight with overnight lows of about 80 degrees. That's warm for nighttime. Heat index today is going to make it feel like 90 degrees. For tomorrow, hey, jury duty day. Mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs near 87 degrees. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. Overnight lows of about 79 degrees. There's scattered showers in the forecast for Friday as we make our way into the weekend. All right, 30% chance of rain here today. Rip current warning until December the 4th. Be careful out there. And the sunrise not until 6:27. Sunset tonight not until 5:51. There it is. News and weather together here on The Point. Brought to you by. Thank you very much. It's that awkward pause. I forgot where I was going to. News, weather together. Brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for 68 years.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamooning. Get the Connecticut Home non-electric water softener system and an Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis system. That includes 2 free services for each system, a $900 value, and with 1 year limited warranty. While supplies last, terms and conditions apply. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
What's that? What do you want me to do? Portions of the program here brought to you by, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking over some. Do you know somebody is suing the Velveeta company? No. Yeah, real cheesy lawsuit. More on that in a second. In the meantime, portions of the Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, plus a team over at Guam Regional Medical City. They are your healthcare partners.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
opportunity last night. Well, first of all, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. This is Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled as usual to be here with you. Even more thrilled because it's just so many. There's so many good things. I just, you know what? The best thing about this show is it allows me to talk about all of the great things that are going on in my life and express gratitude where I think it needs to be. Yesterday afternoon, I get a call from the mayor, Mayor Paco.
No.
Yeah. Hey, Brett. So we call each other. Hey, Brett. I said, Ava. He says, are you home? I said, yeah. He says, I'm on my way. I said, why? He says, I just came back from Ton's place down in Inarahan. I said, yeah. He says, and I've got some beetle net for you. And he shows up. He's got this like little Payless bag, and it's just jammed. And you get little round parts of it. You could look at the bag and go, that's beetle net in there right now. And it's the real good Inarahan kinds, like the kind of small nuts, but they're super hard and dark. Ooh. So just by you cut it open. Do I have one on me now? You cut it open, and then all of a sudden your ears will turn red. Even if you're not a howler, your ears are going to turn red. Anyway, and then Rico Blancaflor came in this morning.
Never heard of him.
And he took a look at the tree, and sure enough, break a tooth on the radio.
There
sure
you
enough,
go.
I don't think I
Dr. Yang
was able
Dental.
to go all the way in. Color good. I can tell. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So that's good. And then yesterday, I get a telephone call, and it says, hey, it's our friend Natasha's birthday. I said, okay, where are we going? Because her place is down in Santa Rita. And I'm always going, it's a long way to go party. But they said, we're going to have a birthday party over at Shirley's at the coffee shop. And they said, yeah. I said, okay. And I get in there, but it's at the coffee shop, but it's over at the end near where they have that samurai kind of seafood boil thing going on. I can't even say it. I just, I'm still burping garlic and butter and everything. Oh my God, the thing is just coated with that and the flavors and the spicy and all of that.
So you got crabs.
I did get crabs. I did get king crab legs there. I was eating like I'm on welfare, buddy. And everybody, it's so cute. Everybody trying to put on the gloves and put the little smock on, and I'm going, no, never mind. I'm going to wash my clothes, and I want my fingers to smell like king crab legs and garlic and butter all morning long. If you haven't had a chance to do that, and the best part was somebody else was buying. So if you have not had a chance to try that out yet, I recommend that you do so sometime soon. 6:17 in the morning. Real Joe's going to get the phone. You call on 888-8255. 888-TALK is the telephone number. And the meme machine is working. I sent myself a meme here. I've already put it up on the screen a couple of times. And even though they say it's not a funny prank, it is funny to say. Be on the lookout for a giant chili somewhere on Guam here this morning. Thank you very much. I am 11 years old when it comes to this kind of thing, and you just gotta wonder about the what's going on in somebody's head when they go, hey, let's go take that. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna put it in the front yard with your decorations? Are you going to hide it in the backyard and take away the enjoyment from somebody else?
I wouldn't steal anything.
It kind of reminds me of every once in a while the Blessed Mother disappears. She just kind of walked down from the sconce up at the cathedral and disappear for a while. I'm hoping it's the same thing.
The Blessed Chili.
Maybe the Blessed Chili just decided, I need some time to myself, and just kind of walked off to ponder the future of Miguelao and the future of Guam, but at some point will return to the happy the happy cheers of the residents of Miguelao and everybody that likes a giant chili. Yeah, it might be. That might be it for the entire morning. I'm just going to tell you. I give you the warning right now. Well, I could play the video of Cousin Troy singing from last night. Did you catch that?
I did.
The Vanessa Williams songs?
I hearted it. Yeah. I think we should get together in karaoke.
Oh, my God. But it was good. He did the disclaimer on it. He was talking about how many Jamesons and that Delta 80 had at the time. Frankly, I don't know how he was standing, but what the heck. Hey, and then Donna D's going to take care of big news and headlines. I think I've already got all the really good jokes in about the giant chili. Do you got anything else here that we might be able to go over in the newscast? Is there anything other than the hotties?
Morning, Donna.
That's the biggest news we got, man.
Was the burn
big
pit
chili.
testimony? Well, we got there's also, I should get this up on the screen as well. PDN with a great picture. What?
Nothing.
No, they're both the PDN. Well, this is amazing. It's like almost exactly the same shot of the supporters of that the open burning ban, the burn pit armpit ban thing. But I'm looking over a couple of them. I'm going, activism never looked so good. Look at that curly hair. That's my kryptonite, bro. And I'm just going,
denim jackets? Oh, no.
Maybe it's time for me to become a green activist here on Guam. No more burn pits or anything like that. You got something that you want to burn? Take it to Tinian, for heaven's sakes. What are you doing that down here for? Good Lord. Anyway, 6:19 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show. So what have I got to take care of? 797-8255, TALK, 888-TALK if you want to talk on the radio and do all of that stuff. 20 after 6, and a growing number of people on Facebook and YouTube who I'd like to greet right about now.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
20 after 6 o'clock in the morning, and I love having all these people to wake up with, including Nick Perlowski, looking for something to go out there. Nick, we're gonna need you on the hunt for the chili. Chelsea. I don't know. I just realized that. Am I spelling it right? Because I've got online on the theme. I've got it spelled with 2 L's. Is that correct?
I don't know, man. Have you ever spelled anything right?
No, I don't think I have. Not in this system. No.
No.
Or is it just
That's
one
what
L?
catches me.
Inquiring minds want to know, but keep it to yourself. I mean, not like I can change it if it is wrong. So I'm just saying if I'm right, thumbs up somewhere, and if I'm wrong, you just blame it on somebody else. Charles Krog, good morning to Auntie Bennett, Luan Duenas, Joey Kitsutu, buenas and half a day to Harvey Egna, who's hanging out with us today. I got Lena McDaniel, Bandits there, John Ray Uggan, oi! And half a day, todos. Tim Zedeker saying his hellos and half a days. Wow, Tattoo Sean is up and early here this morning. Must be early getting putting together, because you got Japanese last name in there, right? Fujikawa.
Oh, yeah.
So
gotta get
guarantee
rice patties out there.
I want pictures of the of the obento for the kid, or Dave's obento. I want to see how are you putting it together. I found a really cool one where it's the doggin of like a bear or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a dog.
It's cute, right?
Yeah. So they use the
cute.
black seeds to make the toes.
Yeah.
And seriously the butt. And then they got the thing like it's drowning in curry, and I'm going, wouldn't it be great to have a Japanese wife to make something like that for you every day? Beautiful Sarita Garin is online. Rico B. Jay Nauta is cool. We got this is Real Joe saved me from dog poop this morning. He's my hero. Okay.
I did.
All right.
But
So
if I knew him longer, I would have allowed him to step right in it.
So here's the problem. And I don't know, other than hanging surveillance cameras all over the place, have the building bristle with more of those kinds of things. Was a pack of dogs. Somebody had a bunch of dogs and put them all in the back of a pickup truck and dropped them kind of in our hood here.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't Gain.
It wasn't. No, the Gain did not bring them back here. And anyway, so the landlord gives me a call, says, your people are feeding the dogs. I'm like, no, my people aren't feeding the dogs. So why are the dogs still hanging around there? So I don't know. The mom is still here, so the puppies are going to hang out here. And so I'm, spread the word. We're not feeding these animals. Somebody's going to call the mayor's office, call Gain, and see if we can have something done with them. And they called Gain, but Gain said, now we're full. We can't take any more of these animals from you. I've got no way to care for them. And I noticed that I'd seen less and less of them, but I'm seeing more and more of their poop. And I'm also seeing out in the front where somebody is leaving food for them. Somebody will come out with a cup of
Good
dog
Samaritan,
food.
Ray.
It's a good Samaritan. Okay, and I hate to sound like the old kids get off my yard. But go do your good Samaritan crap somewhere else, please. Please do not feed the animals here in front of the radio station or anywhere that's not your house, because you're just encouraging them to stay here.
And poo here?
And poo here. And I don't want them staying and pooing here. You know, I had special agent in charge, Merrill, the other day from.
So you're going to call the FBI now on these dogs?
I may have to. Well, he almost stepped in a pile. The guy's almost stepped in a pile. Hey, you know, and I'm, I get it. There's a lot of people with these huge hearts, but you're not doing any favors. I had the same problem at my house. I had this dog that was hanging around at my house, chasing people around, and eventually people were going to think, well, that's my dog. It wasn't my dog. There was a good Samaritan that came over and about twice a week would leave food for that dog in front of my house.
So you provide shelter and they provide
Oh,
the
my
food.
God. I had to catch her outside one day, and I said, hey, listen, you got to do me a favor. Either take the dog or move the food down to my neighbor's house, because otherwise I don't want people thinking this is my dog, because then I have to be responsible for it. Anyway, 6:25, end of editorial, but if you got a big heart, then just take the dog home, for heaven's sakes. And don't give me any of this, but my husband says I can't have any more dogs in the house. Go find Pam Duvall. Pam Duvall will tell you what the upper limit is. And she's got a curmudgeon for a husband, right? She's got a curmudgeon for us. This lady, and she's like,
no more dogs.
Just one more,
no
Clay.
More cats.
Just one more, Clay. All right, so where was I? Jay Naut is online. I got a little bit of MJ Rages. JB St. Nicholas with our Christmas countdown. Christmas countdown on The Point, brought to you by JB St. Nicholas. 24 days, 17 hours. And change between now and Christmas morning. How about that? Tony Uggan online. So is Lonnie Salas, the real Joe Cruz, Manny and Ning Rages, Sandra's mom and dad. Tony Uggan asking, hi, everything. How are you to find out? Well, we are. Thank you. Vince Delgado is there. Steve Love is online. And Steve is preempting you. He already typed in, yeah, I'm a real person. Right on, Steve. God bless you.
Welcome to the world.
Love it. When you go and retrieve my jokes from weeks ago, I think that's awesome. Patty Santiago's there. Underground Dungeon Halloween Store. I got, let me see, Greg Karabrock. Hey, buddy, good to have you online. Auntie Bennett, Lohan Duenas, Joe Bumba, and Rico B. Tim Lohan, not that one, the other one. Carolyn Long and Bill Fritton. Good morning to Brad Wood, who's hanging out here today. Our favorite guy artist, Ron Castro, Evelyn Bernardo, John Ray Titano, Mar John Conception. The amazing and incredible, this superhuman is Colin Clark. Good to have you there. Colin Clark, if you want to get into this guy, you want to talk about trouble, right? Good Samaritan? Kept a pig, right?
He kept a pig.
Where's by the way, where is Ray Ray? I haven't had a Ray Ray update in a while. I didn't
until he got hungry.
I didn't eat that at the Agana Fiesta, did I?
I hope not.
Let me see. Leche Masaki Doni, says Ron Castro. Thanks for putting it in the lingo. Joanne Titano is there. Dave Duenas. Biba, the original Burger King. Rudy Rodolfo hanging out online with Renee Lau. Jess Perez. Alan Ballbin. There's the hot sister of the program, Pam Duvall. Justin Estacchio and Post Canteen. Coming up, details from Post Canteen on your upcoming chance to win almost $4,000. Felix Bumba, Zerot Young, and John Duenas. Dennis Larson's hanging out with us. Wacky Wednesday, long day today. Says they're actually not that long because the sun's coming up late and going down early. So we're in the kind of the shorter times, the shorter days. Long days in Mauna Loa, where the volcano is going up.
Oh, Mauna Loa.
Yeah. There's you got Big Wave, you got Hanalei, and you got Mauna Loa. Those are the beers that come out of there. But
they're all erupting.
They're eruption. An eruption of corruption out there. But I was listening to Fox News. They were saying, okay, they're warning residents of Mauna Loa that they might need to evacuate. Take your time. It's lava. It moves very, very slowly. It's like watching the legislature work. It just little kind of creeps along. But then before you know it, it's there at your house. Mark Cruz is online. Bonnie Datuan. I got Gemma Bustamante. Good to have you there. Joanne Bilibay and Aquino Maipi is online. Aquino, how do we say good morning in your language? Peter Cruz and Vince Pangolina, Jeff Colburn. Good morning to Ariola Sill. Marla Carbolito Castro is there. Julia Shore spending time with us this morning. Pam Duvall says, when you order a chili cup from Wendy's, they repeat your order. So you want the big chili or small chili? They think I'm a haole and don't know what they're laughing at. Maggie Woods. Francis Camacho, let me see, Paul Cruz. Brancho's chilling. I love that name. Brancho's chilling, hanging out. So is Joe Jerry, Richard Troy, Gutierrez, Marv Tun, Cap, Federico Santiago, Rick San Augustin. Good to see Dale Audette there. Marie Babauta Balbin, Manny Regis. That's not Manny and Ning Regis. I think this is just Manny on his own deal. Carlos Barreto, good to have you online. There's Isabel Shimizu, Buenos and Alfadeta. Dan Dula, Double D. I think he's doing a shout to you, Donna D. He's doing, yeah. Daniel Dula. He's like,
Donna
look,
D
I'm a
and
double
Daniel
D.
Dula.
And you're a double D, too. Mike Murfallen, Cecile Bombasuda, Taka Izakaya, and Sushi Bar is watching. Taka Izakaya and Sushi Bar, DM me, please, with a telephone number. I took a look at the menu that you've got up on social media, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that I desire to try sometime soon. Have you seen it? It's the old Table 35.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wondering.
Yeah. And I was there once for a fundraiser once upon a time, and everything was good, but they had not really opened just yet.
Yeah,
So now they're really open, and I want to go and check the place out. Colin says, R.I.P. C. Ray. So it was again your fiesta. Okay, Ron Fej, good morning to John Ray Uggan, Dan Dula, again, David Herrera, Tommy Bernardo, Cousin Troy's on high.
That poor pig.
Sing to me, cuz. Sing to me. Have you ever heard? I forget all the words. The blue corn moon. Have you ever? You know which movie I'm talking about. Tommy Bernardo again, and Bertha Marcia Cruz is saying good morning to y'all. Good to have you online. On the YouTube side, Kitsuto in Japan hitting me with a news report. Tokyo, the number of babies born in Japan this year is below last year's record low in what the top government spokespeople are describing as a critical situation. You might be wondering, well, what's the problem? You cannot have an economy unless you've got a population. The population won't grow if the economy won't grow if the population doesn't grow. Very, very simple economics at play here, and they got to worry now about all kinds of manpower issues that they're going to have over the years. They're leading research now in Japan on automated driving because they don't have enough guys that are old enough and experienced enough to be truck drivers in that country. Have a day Wednesday, Ray, Donna, and Joe. That's from MP Ogo. JW is there. Who's your Big Daddy 06? Dave Herrera on this side as well, doing his shouts. Lupang Guam. Good morning, all of Ray's unwanted. What? Facebook banned illegitimate, deplorable stepchildren. Is that the way you guys are feeling on this? I got to give you more love. What? Look, so Jose Guamis is there. Okay. Tommy Bernardo's on that side as well.
Tommy.
I do not. I'm not going to throw you into the same briar patch that Tom Kreis, tossed Ron McNinch. I don't know whether it's disgusting or insulting, or rude, deplorable. That's not the way I feel about you guys. I think there's a certain attitude, it's a different, because we got attitude on both sides, Facebook and the YouTube side. But it's a different kind of, boys in the back of the bus attitude that we get there, which is why Gemma Bustamante is spending time with those bad boys. 6:32 on the Ray Gibson Show. Lots and lots to go through here. But as I said, there's we've got a case that is brewing over, and I started with the cheesy joke, so I might as well finish it. A seemingly frivolous lawsuit might make you think people have too much time on their hands. For a Florida woman taking Velveeta to court, however, the reason seems to be that she doesn't have enough time to make macaroni and cheese. The gist of the case, Velveeta has marketed their single-serving packages of macaroni and cheese as, quote, ready in 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
Amanda Ramirez, nicknamed Karen Amanda Ramirez, has documented that it is an apparently misleading claim. Although the microwavable cups only need to be cooked for 210 seconds, proper preparation also involves adding water and stirring until the cheese reaches the proper, almost snot-like consistency that we all like in our mac and cheese. It's all included in a 15-page lawsuit that accuses Velveeta and its parent company, Kraft, of advertising a false promise in order to charge a premium price for the product. The suit claims that each package retails for a price higher than it would be sold at, absent the misleading representation and omissions.
Come on, man.
Bob Klitsky's awake going, wait a second. All right, I'm not going to touch this case. Doug Moylan's not going to touch this case. Peter Santos, Neil Weir, maybe they will. The suit claims each package is selling for a higher price. Ramirez said she would have bypassed the product on a supermarket shelf if she'd known the prep time was inaccurate. Assuming that other consumers feel similarly betrayed, she's looking for a judgment totaling $5 million to be distributed to individuals across 9 states. One of her attorneys acknowledged that some people may feel this is just a little bit of fibbing and not really a case, but described the lawsuit as a push for corporate America to be straightforward and truthful in advertising their products. For its part, Kraft Heinz is pushing back against the lawsuit, asserted in a statement that it plans to, quote, strongly defend against the allegations in this complaint. You remember once upon a time? Do you remember it was a once upon a time where somebody went after Subway because their footlongs weren't quite a foot?
Oh, yeah, you had to measure those, man.
God,
You had the tape measure out.
Nah, I'd measure them with my tongue. It's 6:34 in the morning. About time to take our first big look at news and headlines with Donna D. And this is going to be interesting because she's, once again, digging, scraping at the bottom of the barrel for news stories that we can talk about today. There just doesn't seem to be a whole lot that's going on. A lot of public service stuff, maybe one or two things happening over at the legislature.
Small crime stuff. I mean, like
Oh,
small,
I've got
short
the
articles.
magistrate reports. So I might do those early. All right. So, Havadana, what happened?
Okay.
Here's the news.
30-year-old Anthony Joseph Cruz has been arrested in connection to a fire reported in Zonia over the weekend while on pretrial release. Court documents state that a witness told police Cruz got upset with him after telling him he did not have a cigarette. That's when Cruz threatened to burn down the house before the residents later caught fire. He was charged with aggravated arson and terrorizing. And the military's detonation range at Anderson Air Force Base was the main topic at a public hearing for Senator Sabina Perez's Bill 360 yesterday. Residents expressed both support and opposition for the bill. Supporters say they don't want toxic chemicals burned into the environment. Those who oppose it say any unexploded ordnance found on civilian and Gov Guam land will have to remain where it is found. And linguistics students from Germany have begun a project working on the Chamorro language for several semesters and will present their findings next month. The team started the project in April of this year and is currently working on analyzing its findings. The students say they got in touch with Chamorro-speaking locals and learned a lot about the culture and the language. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Raging conversation on Facebook Live on where would you hide a chili that big? It's in my head, but it's in my head, and I can't let it out. I'm sorry. Sherry sent me this. Dennis Larson sent me a picture. Tangerine skies here this morning. I meant to say that. I was looking when I was looking at Donna. I could make out a little bit on the glass brick windows that we've got over here. Some incredible colors in sunrise this morning. I was thinking to myself, God, I hope somebody took pictures, and sure enough, they did. Dennis Larson's got those on screen right now. If you've got some gorgeous shots that you'd like to share, again, 797-8255, 797-TALK is the meme machine. We'll take whatever poster, especially if you got stuff going on. Like if you're part of a group that has a thing like this weekend or today, like the kids over at GCC and the Chinese food that they're going to be doing, by all means, send me the PDF or send a better picture to the meme machine. I can put that up while the commercials are playing or while news is on or something like that. You know, when you're not looking at my pretty face. All right. Speaking of pretty faces, I don't want to. How do I want to phrase this? I had it clear in my head a second ago, but they are so excited over at the Attorney General's office when they beat Pete Santos that they actually Pete Santos. They actually put out a press release here. Yeah. So it says hey, we want a case against Peter.
What a nice job.
Woo-hoo! A.J. Muñoz guilty for robbing the Harmon business. And you're going, wait a second, they put out yes, it's a press release from the Office of the Attorney General here. A.J. Tovez has been convicted by a jury of his peers of second-degree robbery as a second-degree felony with special allegations for the possession or use of a deadly weapon in the commission of the felony in July. Do I want to read the whole thing? It went into the check cashing place in Harmon.
Oh, this is that genius.
Right. He's the one that went through the whole thing, but the screwball left his wallet in the truck. And the cops go, oh, I know who this guy is. And Peter Santos' defense was apparently not going to address any of the other evidence the police have on the guy. But how do you know that was his wallet in the truck? Maybe the driver of the truck stole his wallet and just happened to have it in there. I don't know if you can make that kind of jump from one to the other. He's just going for that, a reasonable doubt. And apparently the jury didn't buy. The defendant took off in a Nissan truck before authorities arrived at the scene. He led officers on a chase through Day-to-Do. The defendant was able to elude officers on foot, but left behind his mask, firearm, and ID card in the truck in the wallet. He was apprehended about a week later when officers responded to a removal request at a motel. Attorney Lenny Rapata said, yeah, I kicked Peter's ass all over the... Oh, no, he didn't say that. He said the jury was able to see through the defendant's mask and find him guilty. The hard work of the Guam Police Department and prosecution staff secured justice for the victims. He will be sentenced by Berto Tolentino. So I'm sorry, that's his honor, Berto Tolentino. February the 23rd of next year, he faces 5 to 10 years confinement in the Department of Corrections for robbery and a range of 5 to 25 years for the special allegation enhancements that they've got there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not every day they beat Peter Santos. Peter Santos. I'm just going to check Facebook Live and see if he's there. I'm talking about you.
There you are.
Okay. 6:39 on the Ray Gibson Show. Tell you what, quick break. We'll come back with a look at traffic next.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Christmas is a very special time, but it can also be a very hard time. For the foster children Harvest House serves, it can be difficult and painful being away from their families and siblings. During Harvest House's Christmas celebration event, we hope that siblings living in different foster homes can join together to share in Christmas joy. We need your help to provide all 600 plus foster children with Christmas gifts. Help us make this a memorable Christmas for each of them. Harvest House will be accepting gifts until December 14th. Contact us at 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net if you have questions or want a suggested gift list. That's 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net.
It's me. Is this the subway? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of cruising here this morning. It's Wednesday. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow I got to take care of jury duty, etc. So I'm just kind of cruising through with all of the paperwork that I've got. The Subway series. It's there for you to try. All new menu of 12 chef-inspired sandwiches now available at all Subway locations here and in Saipan. Enjoy a whole new way to Subway. Order any Subway series sandwich by name or number and let Subway sandwich artists do the rest. Subway, eat fresh. All right, so I was looking for where do I have the map here? I've got 18 million things up on open on the browser here. That's not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Traffic map time. Time to take a look at what's going on your roadways. Usually start from the north end of town. It looks like it's quiet up in Jigo. A couple of spots where you might get some dog and out traffic on your way into the Day-to-Do area. Nothing major through there. A little bit of traffic that seems to be swinging over by, where is that? The farmers market area. Everybody said Race was talking about Tahoe yesterday. Maybe everybody getting hungry for some Tahoe today. Let me see a little bit of intersection traffic over at 1 and 3. Nothing major over at Campley and Guerrero on Route 16. All the way to 8, 10, and 16. Maybe a little tiny bit of traffic on Route 10 as you make your way in the front of Guam International Airport. Otherwise, Route 8, Route 4 looking pretty clear here. Route 10 in Miguelao, not so bad. You'd think that it would be busier with all those people looking for that giant chili. But, maybe it's still a little bit too early for the manhunt, if you will. We've got a little bit of traffic over at Big Navy and Sumai. I think that's about it for you. 6:42 right now, traffic on the point.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Choice Broadcasting has done it again.
Votes are in and we hit the trifecta. 93.3 The Point, Pika's best radio station.
Kyle Mandapat, Pika's best radio personality.
Daryl Azama, Pika's best DJ.
The stations of Choice Broadcasting say thanks for all your votes and support.
If you're an advertiser, find out what our best can do for you and your business.
Call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages.
And let us get your message out to Pika's best listeners with Pika's best broadcasters.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
I'm not sure where I want to go with the magistrate report. There's so many good ones, including the one against George William Jesus Gray, who's
that's a long name.
Well, he's got a variety. Used a variety of warnings to people. He was holding a knife to somebody, saying, "You want me to stitch you up?" Oh, no, wait, this was to the cops. He was stated before showing the officers envelopes, which were used as a record of statements by the defendants towards Espinosa. You want to put me back in jail? You know I'll be smoking daily. This guy learned his English off the internet, right? Off the WhatsApps and text from the kids. Oh, by the way, I just got somebody sent me a picture, a screen cap of me asking her to be friends on Facebook. Because as it turns out, we're already friends on Facebook.
Oh,
now,
you are?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
So, yeah, you got a fake?
I might have somebody out there might I don't know. I don't know whether I don't even know what to do in cases like that.
Who would want your life, man?
Right? That's what I'm thinking. And the worst thing is they're lazy hackers. Can I just say they're lazy hackers? Because it's the standard Facebook male head. You know, it's the kind of anonymous androgynous head that you've got there. And I'm going, they're so lazy. Couldn't even go to my actual page and snag a picture of me and then put it up on the thing so it actually looks legitimate. It's one of those, and I can't help but think, oh boy, there's all these people out there in the world of social media going, oh, Ray Gibson wants to be my friend. I feel so lucky today. Isn't that great? 6:46 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. All right, now might be a good time to take a look at the table of contents, and you can tell it's a slow news day. What's the job for the people in the media? Going to go hang out over at the legislature and take pictures of the pretty activists and put them on the front page of the newspaper. Not to be outdone, both newspapers have virtually the same picture with the same gallery holding up the same. Now I'm kind of curious. Was this? Maybe I'll go find Ricky Cruz.
No.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go find. Well, Ricky's the photographer for the PDN, and I got to ask Ricky. I mean, it looks like there's a crowd there with a lot of signs. I'm curious now. Was the entire hall filled with a bunch of people with a bunch of signs, or was it just these pretty people here with the signs out there protesting against the ban on the burn pits and blowing up munitions in a protected area or something like that? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, the rest of the story, in my mind, is inconsequential. It's just another opportunity to go look at the legislature saying, well, take a look at what we're not doing. I told you yesterday about the letters that had gone out from the Vicar General and the Archdiocese asking, not asking, as forcefully as they do in the Catholic Church, without, yelling from the bully pulpit, if you don't do this, then you will be excommunicated from the church. Can't come up here for your sacraments, and we're not going to let you sit in and become godparents for anybody unless you start abandoning this quest that you have been on. They're not doing that, but I think they are being as forceful as they possibly can in their legislation. Only a little bit of that story covered in the newspaper. They did find, one of them found Anita Areola, who is suggesting that Doug Moylan might need to, quote, talk to his clients based on activities that were going on with another attorney general a long time ago on this case. There were others that were involved. It wasn't just the attorney general's office, and maybe he needs to talk to others in, quote, the government of Guam, who the attorney general also serves, to get that done. I don't know if Doug has seen that yet or has any comments on it. Doug, if you're online, go ahead and call in. If not, I'll just let that rest. But the clock is definitely ticking. ticking. Here we are, 6:48. It is now the 30th of November, the last day of November, and whole hog heaven for the holidays into starting tomorrow for a lot of people, where mentally the Christmas holidays begin on December the 1st. But the legislature on December the 2nd is going to be going into session, and items on the agenda so far don't include the Heartbeat Act. Now, they did get a hold, when I say they, is it PDN? Yep, PDN. Good job, Joe Tite. Got a hold of Chirag Bhojwani, who works for Tina's office. I don't know, couldn't get a hold of Tina. We're going to try this morning. Chirag Bhojwani, Director of Policy and Communications, reached out to Convocar on Monday afternoon. Bhojwani provided a letter about the conversation to the newspaper. He stated that as he explained, Bill 291 was still eligible for placement on the upcoming December 2nd agenda, but was only listed as a potential item instead of being locked in on the agenda due to public notice requirements and the legislative rules. Really? Okay. A committee report necessary for the bill to be placed on the agenda was forwarded from the legislature's Committee on Health to the Rules Committee on November the 10th. According to Bhojwani, extra time was needed to finalize the 2,200-page report. Now, let me just roll on that for a second. One side or the other. It may not matter to you whether you go to heaven or hell, but one side or the other here, that's a whole lot of testimony. Yeah. That's a whole lot of people coming in. There's a whole lot of transcriptions. It's a whole lot of paperwork unrelated to the actual Heartbeat Act. So if you want to know just what the public interest is in this, 2,200-page report, most of which I'm sure is testimony one way or the other. And that is the point that the Convocar is making, is there were a whole lot of statements made by a whole lot of people, and it is not right for the legislature in its last session to ignore that and punt the problem, punt this hot potato into either a referendum or into the next legislature. So I think that, interesting conversation between the two of those. In compliance with the open government law and our standing rules, should there be enough votes to place this measure for discussion, the measure meets the requirements to be entertained during the December session. I hope this clarifies your concerns and better explains to you how the legislature's rules dictate how the body can act within the parameters of its rules. Thank you very much, Chirag Bhojwani. And I don't know why they probably should have. Joe, if I was you, I would have held out and just say, hey, let me talk to Vice Speaker. Let me talk to Tina. I know what you're saying. But let me talk to her. 651 and change, 888-825-588 TALK. Interesting stuff coming out from Cousin Troy's social media. One of them was singing the song about the Blue Corn Moon from the Pocahontas movie. Some of you may have seen that. Troy, please don't take that down. Please don't take that video down, bro.
Listen, I was 6 Jamesons in, and I was pretty stoned from a Delta 8.
Nice. Nice. And sometimes you just got to go with it. I didn't realize that my nephew, RD, has got competition for best singer in the family.
Well, you know what? I didn't realize that I was singing either until I woke up to all the notifications this morning.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I did what? Well, like I said, sometimes you need that. And based on some of the things that you have been talking about and writing about on the Candid here, maybe, a little break from the harsh real-life world could come in handy. First of all, let's talk about the Jerry Kitchen case and now what looks like an attempt by, is it Jonine, to cover up?
Well, so there was a WhatsApp conversation allegedly between Jonine Terlahi and her girlfriend at the time. But this occurred last year. This was in the wake of the crash, where it appears that she was trying to get her girlfriend to tell people that she wasn't an occupant of the vehicle, or that she wasn't at the scene of the crime. And it matches up with a lie that came about after the crash when we asked the office of Senator Pito Terlahi, who's her grandfather, the Jonine Terlahi's grandfather. Jonine Terlahi is a Guam police officer, which is a significant, fact in this look into the case. And so the office of Senator Pito Terlahi, when we asked, was she an occupant of the vehicle, we keep hearing these rumors. The lie came from their office that she wasn't, and that they had reached out to her. She said that she wasn't there, but her friend called her, and she arrived on the scene later. It was this entire just fabricated story that came out of the senator's office, and that's what really led to, a real increase in suspicion on our part back in February, March of 2021.
Right.
That this was a police cover-up.
Well, but it sounds like there's collaboration from inside the senator's office.
So from the senator's office,
because I saw you posted the email threads between the messenger threads between you and Chris Carrillo, who works over at Peto's office, asking the question pretty directly. One of you is lying to me. Which one?
Yeah, and of course you're not going to answer that. But I think what should be more alarming to us is the lying on the part of the police department. A police officer lying, asking other people to lie. Police officers assigned to investigate the matter for a second time because of the allegations of cover-up, all saying on the stand that they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Their findings showed that there was nothing wrong. But they didn't interview the lone eyewitness. It just all stinks. It would be very refreshing if one of those police officers came forward and said, you know what, I was asked by this person to do this, or I was told by this person to do this, and I didn't agree with it, but, it is what it is.
Right.
Just tell the truth. I think that there could be a whole lot of credibility that begins to be restored over at the Guam Police Department.
Well, in this case, what was it that they were trying to cover up? I don't have any evidence that places Jonine behind the steering wheel of the Jeep.
There's an entire question of who was behind the steering wheel. So they did bring the lone eyewitness, Ruthie Hasamway. I can't remember his name. Hasamway, I think is his last name. The G4S security guard. They put him on the stand, and he testified that the person who got out of the driver's side was had tattoos and is muscular, and that actually does point to one of the occupants, but that would not be Nikita or Jonine. It would be one of the other.
So what we're trying to, and I don't understand the point of the cover-up. What great sin if she was the passenger in the vehicle? Okay, she probably should have done something. Said, well, we're too hammered to drive. I'm a police officer. Let's call Korea Taxi and make it safe home. Do all of that kind of thing. But absent that, if she was not behind the wheel, what was the point of the cover-up?
A police friend of mine told me that there's something called an enabling act that I need to look at, and Jonine Chalahi, because she was a party to whatever, she could have gotten in a lot of trouble because of the enabling act. But the irony is that if it is uncovered during this trial that there was a cover-up, then she would be in even more trouble through the enabling act and through other laws. I don't know. I have to look that up.
But she has not been put on the stand, has she?
She's going to be put on the stand Thursday.
Ooh. Okay, well, that I think will make it that much more interesting to hear what she says under what I'm sure will be withering fire of questions from Attorney Lujan. But my long time ago question still stands: is who is behind the wheel? Who eventually needs to be held accountable? Even if we get an answer in this case, an acquittal of the Uggan woman on this case, it doesn't mean that there is going to be a next step. There is no guarantee that there's going to be a next step to find out who actually was at fault in this case.
Well, I think that decision is entirely up to Guam's police chief.
Got to be some evidence out there somewhere. Got to be, you get all four of them and put them in different rooms and get their stories and see if they all line up on who was behind the wheel that night, who actually left the roadway and plowed a Jeep into Jerry's kitchen.
Anyone who believes that investigation was done correctly and that there's nothing else to discover as the truth is an idiot. And I don't believe that our police chief is an idiot.
Well, I don't know if you're taking the knee on this. We're not talking about Watergate here. It is what it is, and I don't know that it's worth losing the reputation of the Guam Police Department over. Now, one other thing, we don't have enough time for this. This is just 2 minutes. I probably shouldn't even start the question, but I am interested. Are you guys doing any follow-ups on the GMH med health contract?
Yes, we're just waiting for some information.
And the kind of an untimely suspension of the contract?
Well, it's definitely a coincidence that they would have found themselves to have been newly qualified to do the billing and the claims management and all that stuff at the same time that the media was asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you in particular. And Harvey.
Yeah.
And others. Yeah. All right. Wait more of this. So I'm going to wait until maybe call back in another couple of hours or something like that. We'll find you because I do want to have a conversation on what the latest is in that particular case, because it is kind of intriguing that first of all it existed. It was backed up by everybody. Press spokesman says, "Oh no, this went through the Attorney General's office and everything." And then another week later, okay, cancel contract agreements, null and void. Bye. Don't call.
Well, the thing about the AG's office hunting it over to G&H and saying that they have their own legal counsel is that's complete BS. At the time of the negotiation of that contract, the person who was involved on the legal side was an assistant attorney general and not in-house counsel over at G&H. So the AG's office was fully involved in this whole mental health thing.
Was involved?
Yes.
Okay.
They were absolutely involved. We have all these emails that prove that.
6:59, 20 seconds left in the hour. Cuz, I'm going to let you run. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
You guys have a wonderful morning.
You know it. Cousin Troy from Candid and News on the radio here this morning with a little bit of yak about some of the things that they are following. Jerry Kitchen case is just, it's all kinds of interesting. If you want details, hit Candid and get some more of those. Yeah, apparently I have been hacked. I'm getting, Belen said she got an invitation to be my friend. She says, but we're already friends. All right, baby. Stand by now. It's time for Fox News and The Point.
Republican leader says some Republicans may not vote in favor of a bill aimed at avoiding a nationwide rail strike. At least one union accusing President Biden of letting workers down by not advocating for changes when he called on Congress to intervene.
Negotiations are deadlocked. It appears a bit of a moot point right now. Only Congress has the authority under the Railway Labor Act to intervene here, either by extending the deadline, calling it an arbitrator, or legislating that agreement that some of the unions voted down. A rail strike would have devastating impacts, though, on the U.S. economy. Industry CEOs in agriculture, retail, and energy said today for every day of a strike, the supply chain would need 5 to 7 days to catch up.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The tentative deal doesn't resolve a main sticking point of paid sick time at a House vote now expected tomorrow. Top congressional leaders meeting earlier today with the president, who's now in Michigan, calling an expanding computer chip plant evidence of his economic plan working.
We exported more jobs than products. Now we're back in the business of exporting products, not jobs.
Meantime, the lame duck Congress has some key issues to address, including a spending bill needed to avoid a government shutdown in December. The House and Senate GOP leaders making their position clear in the controversy over a white nationalist having dinner recently at former President Trump's Florida home.
There is no room in the Republican Party for anti-Semitism or white supremacy.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell adding that anyone meeting with people advocating that point of view is unlikely to be elected president. Trump has said he didn't know Nick Fuentes, but stopped short of condemning his ideology. The U.S. still leading Iran 1-0 in a must-win match at the World Cup. They are in the closing minutes of stoppage time. The Dow up a point at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
What's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger licking good.
The new owner makes yet another change on a social media giant.
Twitter is no longer enforcing its long-standing policy aimed at tackling COVID-19 misinformation. Just the latest new move under Elon Musk, who promised general amnesty for suspended accounts. The social media platform noting the policy change on one of its website pages. Some civil rights and other advocacy groups have been urging companies to pull ads as a way of pressuring Twitter's new CEO to resume content moderation measures. The move coming amid growing concerns about Twitter's ability to fight misinformation after Musk cut staffing in half. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
That COVID misinformation policy had been in effect since early 2020, suspending more than 11,000 accounts and removing nearly 100,000 pieces of content it deemed potentially harmful. An earthquake shakes central Greece, preliminary magnitude of around 5, centered about 35 miles northeast of Athens, where it was felt. No word on any damage. A lot of shoppers hungry for sales over the holiday weekend.
Despite surging inflation, deep discounts encourage more Americans to open their wallets. A record number of shoppers turning out to make purchases between Thanksgiving Day and Cyber Monday to the tune of $196.7 million, according to the National Retail Federation. Consumers flocking back to stores to score deals, spending around $325 on holiday-related purchases. In the meantime, consumer spending on Cyber Monday notched a record of $11.3 billion, according to Adobe Digital Insights.
Fox's Hillary Barsky, sales almost 6% higher than last year. A soccer update for you from Qatar. In the World Cup, the U.S. has just advanced to the round of 16, defeating Iran 1-0. And a mixed day overall on Wall Street. The Dow finishing up about 3 points. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Now at your favorite Burger King locations, the new Ghost Pepper Whopper. Our Ghost Pepper Whopper is made with a quarter-pound flame grilled beef, spicy queso sauce, crispy bacon, ghost pepper cheese, crispy jalapenos on a warm orange bun with black sesame seeds. See if you can handle the heat of the new Ghost Pepper Whopper. Make it a meal with french fries or jalapeno bites and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Now available for a limited time only at participating Burger King locations. Tumon Bay, Hagåtña, Micronesia Mall, and Airport. You rule.
Farewell LA, excellent corporate citizen for 30-plus years. And yes, we're competitors, but we're sorry to see you go. Now let us address the bank's customers. Bank Pacific's arms are wide open to accept your banking needs, whether it be to handle your savings, commercial checking, merchant business, or consumer or commercial loan needs. We're open on Saturdays in 4 convenient locations and have excellent online banking services. And we're staying, for as you might know, where others put branches, we place roots. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Half a Day Guam Chili's is going local, featuring new menu items. All your Guam favorites with the Chili's twist. Taste the heat with Chili's Cutun Pica wings with just enough of a kick to leave you wanting more. Dive into the savory flavors of coconut cream and spices with the Southwest Tinactac. Test your taste buds with Chili's Denancy glazed roast chicken and ribs, or hear the excitement coming off the sizzling stir fry with your choice of chicken, beef, or shrimp. At Chili's, more life and great local favorites happen here.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. 23-year-old Jedediah James Santos faces burglary and other charges after being seen on surveillance footage inside Sakura Noodle House during a break-in. Police were called to the Tuning restaurant on Monday, and an employee said the back exit was unlocked, the freezer's padlock tampered with, and the time clock was missing. Other items were taken from a container trailer, but an inventory had to be conducted to determine what was missing. The security room was also broken into and items were taken. Police reviewed surveillance footage and saw 2 men, including Santos, inside the restaurant taking items. Officers also noted the emergency exit door was damaged. Santos was charged with burglary, criminal mischief, and theft of property. Meanwhile, Cyrus Matias, one of the men accused in the stabbing death of Kieferson Aiken in Weekday, contends he was not involved in the deadly attack. He argues that he wasn't even at the crime scene. Matias and co-defendants Samson Shapusi, Allison Joe, Darrow Isti, and El Sun Joe face charges in connection to the August killing of Aiken outside of the Dedido Center. Shapusi is the only one charged with murder. The group appeared before Judge Vern Perez yesterday. Prosecutors continue reviewing cell phone video that captured the attack. The 5 are scheduled to be back in court on January 23. More news after this.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Mooney. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut home water softener system for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
While Attorney General-elect Doug Moylan has said he plans to move to dissolve the injunction placed on Guam's abortion ban, attorney Anita Arreola has said that Moylan should check with his clients first or run into a potential conflict of interest. Arreola represented plaintiffs in the case that struck down the ban decades ago. She says that Moylan was not elected as either the governor or a senator, and if he wanted to tackle policy matters, he first needed to consult with his client, the government of Guam, the governor of Guam, and the government of Guam agencies. Arreola says Moylan would tie up the courts in all kinds of needless and unnecessary litigation that simply costs the taxpayer and the people of Guam a lot of money with no end result that would benefit them. Arreola is a member of Guam People for Choice, a coalition that has opposed restrictions on abortion access and reproductive freedom on Guam. And Governor Lulian Guerrero proclaimed Giving Tuesday on Guam at Adelup yesterday, and local nonprofits are still seeking support for the holidays. Manyalu Executive Director Samantha Titano says the nonprofit is currently selling Christmas boxes with all the materials for a family of 4 to make a pancake breakfast and decorate cookies. Each box is $50, which can be found on Eventbrite and can be picked up December 17 at Guam Baby Co. in Tamuning. Sanctuary Executive Director Vic Camacho says youth residents at their shelters will receive holiday meals and participate in planned activities and decorating. Donations can be made to the organization at sanctuaryguam.com. West Care Pacific Islands highlighted the important role of donations, especially when grant funding is limited or when some of their clients, including veterans, families, and youth, are ineligible based on funding rules. To donate to support West Care programs, go to westcarepacificislands.org/give. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Man, just absolutely crazy. I'm looking over at some of the images that I'm getting in the WhatsApp meme machine. I'm not getting any crazy memes here. Not necessarily upsetting because I'm getting some great just visual Guam art here of an incredible sunrise this morning. This one comes in from Trina, who sent it in. Sunrise over her backyard. Got some great stuff from Sherry. Great stuff from Dennis Larson. I think somewhere around here I might even have some shots from Sarita Garin. If I don't, then go to her Facebook page because she does. Don't know how to get to her Facebook page? Just right click on the thing. Now about 7:40 is good, the usual time here. 7:11 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Sorry, just yakking to Real Joe, just barking out instructions from my desk to his for potential guests here later on, including Dr. George Macris. Because I'm curious as what his thoughts are on something that was on the front page of a couple of tweets that I got here this morning. One headline: they've changed the name of monkeypox. They've changed the name of monkeypox. It's been monkeypox for 100 years.
Please tell me what it is now.
Are you ready? This is earth-shattering. Oh, my God. This is the degree to which we've come to learn from the experts in the medical community. No more sliming good monkeys. And maybe some other primates that identify as monkeys. It is now Mpox. Letter M, P-O-X. And you're going to go, and the doctor says, oh, you've got Mpox.
No imagination.
What is Mpox? Monkeypox. Oh, just that? Oh, okay, no problems. I don't understand what the urgency is to do all of this. I'm sure that there's some kind of LGBTQ whatever correctness that we're supposed to be following so that it doesn't. I don't know. Smear anybody else around here, but they've decided that everything has got to be now politically correct, even if it means that there are going to be regular old Joes that will misunderstand or misinterpret their diagnosis because they might be thinking about monkeypox, but when the doctor says it's Mpox, well, what does that really mean? And then the doctor is going to say, well, monkeypox. Then we'll just call it monkeypox and keep it easy for everybody. What's the matter with this world?
I was half listening in the beginning. Did you say it's because some people identify has monkeys?
Yes. There's
Oh, wow.
You did not know? You didn't know?
I was just kind of half listening.
That's okay. 'Cause that means I can totally gaslight you on this. Yes, there's a whole bunch of people. You don't
explains my friends
there's
then.
marginalized people all over that identify one way or the other. I mean, there's My Little Pony people. What? You're otaku. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's these.
But
they're fans of My Little
They're
Pony.
just fans.
Yeah,
but they don't identify as ponies.
Yeah, they do. They're the hardcore ones. Yeah. And there are hardcore My Little Pony people here on Guam. And there are hardcore people
Where are they?
Huh?
My favorite is
I'm in a Care
Twilight
Bear group.
Sparkle. Are you?
Are you?
Who's your favorite Care Bear?
This isn't that one of those just the most amazing questions that sometimes it's a difficult thing to answer depending on your surroundings. When somebody comes up to you and says, "Are you?" Yes, I am the Ray Gibson. Welcome to the program. 7:13, and I'm supposed to take care of weather. I just needed to throw that thing out. I also got a couple of other things that were really important. So while the news is playing, I'm getting play-by-play from Jerry Perez on the U.S. v. Iran game, and I knew that it was on, and I knew that we were winning.
In Qatar or
but it comes
Qatar?
Gutter was the way that I was taught to say it by Mustache Wisdom Bob Klitsky. At any rate, so Jerry Perez watching the thing, so we got to win this. It cannot be a tie, because if by the weird way that soccer rules work, World Cup rules work, if there was a tie, then the United States would have been eliminated. So the United States won against Iran 1-0, and so now what's going to happen is the United States will advance. The Iranian team will go back to Iran, where they're going to be summarily executed by their political leadership.
There.
Well, they got different values than we do, Real Joe.
Respect,
and I think we do. I think we do need to respect those different values. Also, I got word from Colin and a couple of the other guys that there is some kind of activity, some exercise that is taking place at the at Anderson Air Force Base from 0700. All right, now to 1600. I know some of you are going 1600. Man, that was always the hard one. Which one is that, Ray? 1600 is 4.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock this afternoon, and they say expect traffic delays. Now, we don't normally do traffic at this time.
Operation Road Rage.
But I will get the thing up on the deal. Now I've been struggling trying to figure out what kind of exercise it could possibly be, because they're not really saying anything, are they? They aren't really saying anything. Is it maybe a counter demonstration against the demonstration that was held over at the legislature yesterday by the pit ban burners, or pit fire burn banners?
Yeah, that'll do.
On the other hand, I could fall back and just say it's not an exercise. It's practice for the upcoming General's Charcuterie competition. My friends like it when I do that. 7:15 on. Maybe it's another one of those exercises like they had a while ago. Remember the one of the smiling guppy or something? I forget.
Golden Pea.
Golden Pea. No. I think that was the name of it, come to think of it. 7:16 on the Ray Gibson Show. It doesn't look like there's anything major happening right now. We'll figure it out in a second. Okay, I get the message. As Real Joe's playing the music, which means would you start doing the weather? All right, fine. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast before noon. There's partly sunny skies. Daytime highs near 86 degrees. Expect winds out of the east up to 17 miles an hour, gusting as high as 22 this afternoon. Partly cloudy. Overnight lows of about 80 degrees. East-northeast winds again, and maybe some gusts as high as 21 miles an hour. Tomorrow, isolated showers under mostly sunny skies, mostly cloudy tomorrow night, and partly sunny by the time it gets to be Friday. Sunset tonight is going to be 5:51. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on The Point.
Subway just dropped an all-new menu of 12 sandwiches. They call it the Subway Series.
The Subway Series has 4 new categories of subs: cheesesteaks, Italianos, chicken, and clubs.
With a sandwich series like that, I'll be a happy Subway cereal eater.
And Subway has a new way of ordering, too. You can order the Subway Series sandwiches by name or by number.
So I can just say number 5 for the Bella Mozza? Hey, that's a whole new way to Subway.
You could, but the better choice, number 8, the Great Garlic.
It's the new Subway Series. What's your pick?
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chelan San Antonio, Suite 204, Tumaning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hoffaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pica's Best of 2022.
Standing by here, 717, Ray Gibson Show, brought to you by American President Lines, APL, a global presence with a local home. And they're my friends over at Nissan, whose sole holiday wish is for you to be driving in one of their cars. And that's because they want to sell. I mean, obviously they want to sell you a car, but they want to sell you a great car. Something that's got great gas mileage, ultra safety features for you and your family, and plenty more. So we've got the Kicks, we got the Rogue, Frontier. Oh, and the plenty more also includes great gas mileage, 35 miles to the gallon with the Versa. How about that? And 1,000 gallons of gasoline for free. It's one of the deals they're offering at NissanGuam.com.
Morning talk that matters. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I can put it up on the screen, but I don't know if I can legally describe what it is that you're looking at. So if you're curious, what you're going to want to do is get to YouTube a little bit later on, and then you just kind of back up, scroll back to about 7:19 for very, very interesting chili imagery that we're going to see. This is one of the big stories. I'm sure residents all over Manila waking up this morning to the bad news that somebody stole their giant chili from the park area here, and I'm assuming that the police department. Can you imagine what that sounded like on Police Band when that broke? Be on the lookout. Points bulletin for a giant chili. Maybe you've seen it, and because cops have a great sense of humor.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. 7:19, and when they pull you over, just tell them jokes. They love that. Come on, Tommy liked it when I did jokes. Anyway, where are we? 7:19, 7:20, something like that in the morning. It is Wednesday, Ray Gibson Show, until it's not going to be anymore. Some other interesting news is floating around. And hold on, Mike Grace Blas, why did you send me this? Did I make reference to these guys?
Oh, yeah. What is that's Outsiders.
Yeah, I think it's the Outsiders. Yeah, Ponyboy, 2-Bit, Steve, Johnny. What's the guy's name? Todd, Derry, and Dally. I don't recall. Matt Dillon is in there. Ron, not Ron. Yeah, the guy.
Ron McNitch. That's Ron McNitch right there, man.
I didn't realize how many stars were in that movie until just now. This looks like the
crazy,
cast of,
right?
Yeah. So, okay, all right. More on that a little bit later. But you're going to need to explain why you sent that to me so I can get the joke. 20 after 7 o'clock in the morning. Another story that I think is going to be interesting. I don't think it'll have an impact on us out here, but I hope that one of the twins is keeping an eye on Mauna Loa. First time it has gone up since 1984, and what they're running into an issue there. I don't know how great an issue it's going to work out, but it was remarkable, at least in the eyes of one person writing a story. It's hard to describe the eruption of Mauna Loa to people that either weren't here in 1984 the last time it did it, or weren't born in 1984 the last time that something like that happened. And they don't really understand the magnitude of this kind of nature. And even though it is a slow-moving threat, it is a threat. Incidentally, the population of that area has about doubled since 1980. So there are a lot more people that might be getting fretful about what's happening at Mauna Loa. The largest active volcano on the planet began erupting over the weekend, making the first time it has done so in almost 40 years. According to experts, there's that word, experts again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, take everything with a grain of salt. Mauna Loa in Hawaii has been spewing lava since Saturday, and though it is expected to spare most of the populated regions of the island, nevertheless, officials are urging residents to remain vigilant and keep a close eye on any development, since volcanic eruptions are notoriously unpredictable. In addition to the threat of lava itself, the presence of ash, ASH, gases, and glass-like fibers are also posing a risk to people in the region. As the Hawaii Volcano Observatory explained, it would remain in close consultation with emergency management partners and will be monitoring the volcano closely to provide further updates on the activities of this threat that they've got out there. And that's not the last time. It's the last time for Mauna Loa, but there have been other eruptions that have gone right into parts of cities and neighborhoods, freaking people out. Anyway, more on that if it gets interesting a little bit later on. 7:22. Time to take a look at what happened on the markets here today. We'll go over some interesting gas prices, and I got great news on Tapas. I got really, really good news on Tapas. All right, ready, get set. Here it comes. S&P 500 off by about 6 points, closing at 39.57. NASDAQ lost 65 points to close at 10,983. Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 3, so it looks like a kind of flat day for the markets. Nothing crazy to write home about in one direction or the other. FTSE up by 37. The Nikkei down by 134. Chinese markets, let me see, Hang Seng in Hong Kong up by almost 1,000 here. 18,204 is where they ended up. The Shanghai Index is up by 71. The VIX flat, and the DAX is off by about 27 points. Big losers, big winner on the markets today is the Dow. And the Dow movers and shakers include American Express, Dow Inc., Boeing Company, JP Morgan, and Chevron Corporation. Had to be some losers. Apple is down there. You know why? Because Apple's trying to pick a fight with my boy Elon Musk.
No,
Are you hearing about
don't
this?
do that.
Yeah. Elon Musk. Somebody suggested Apple has pulled all of their ads on Twitter. I know. I
Really?
will. Okay, girls. Whatever you say. Whatever it is that you want to do. Just gotta keep looking at it. Yeah. How come you're letting people say whatever they want to on social media? How many people are going to die because of that decision that you guys are like, God, I can't get over the drama here. So Apple's pulled their ads. Some people say that is a precursor from Apple pulling the app off the App Store. Taking Twitter off the app. Yeah, really. That's just how small people's minds are.
We promise.
And making it so that if you got an Apple iPhone, you won't be able to access your Twitter to which Elon Musk has answered, I'll make my own phones. Well, I'm old enough to remember where there was not an iPhone and there were Samsungs, and I'll go find Nokia and buy them. Nokia's actually got no, I'm serious. Nokia's actually got a new line of a phone. Looks like an updated version. I'm sure you've seen this, guys. If you follow anything like similar to what I follow in the Twitterverse, Nokia has got a phone reminiscent of the original Blackberries. So it didn't have a trackball, but it does have one of those little QWERTY keyboards.
Yeah,
and it doesn't fold; it slides. So you've got the screen,
jiggle.
And it jiggles, and it slides open so you can access the keyboard. Otherwise, it's about maybe the size of a deck of cards, and you can just kind of leave it there, and it'll do all of the things that most of us really need to get done. Maybe even including in Twitter. So Apple rounds out the bottom 5 here. Salesforce, Disney is in there. And Disney losing an incredible amount of money every day on a couple of projects that they're working on. Visa Inc. and Home Depot Incorporated is rounding out the bottom of the deal. I'm trying to figure out why, considering it's holiday season. I don't know anybody that sells more Christmas trees and Christmas decorations than Home Depot, but I could be wrong. All right, some of the other markets we like to look at. West Texas crude now 78.56. It's up from where it was yesterday. Sorry to give you that bad news. But the good news is on Tapas. Tapas is trading at, let me see, yesterday it was 91.09. And today, hold on, I can actually put this up on the screen so that you can see it from oilprices.com and the World Wide Web right around the bottom. Malaysia, it says Tapas is now at $86.66. Remember what I told you? It was at 91.09 before. It is now, and they had dropped the prices around that low 90 number, right?
Yeah.
They had dropped the price of gasoline around that low 90 number. It is off by $4.43 today, 86.66. Again, I will preface this by saying the gas companies don't work for me. Even though I spend an awful lot of time in gas stations collecting my drinks and my points, my Pacific points, et cetera, and cold beers and ice, and put gasoline in the car, even though I'm merely a customer and a conduit of information. 86.66 for Tapas. Maybe if it continues in that realm, we might see another break in the price of gas, which will be good because unless the legislature springs into action and gets that new legislation that we were talking about yesterday, could be a increase in the price of gasoline as they sunset on the taxes and fees that we've had a holiday on for about the last 4 or 5 months. 7:27 in the morning. Jerry Roberts is in the studio. Jerry. Jerry Roberts, how was your vacation?
It was good. Legislature springing into action.
Yeah. It's moving slower than the lava from Mauna Loa.
Sounds like a contradiction in terms to me.
Oxymoronic, if you will. Yeah. So how was yesterday?
It was good.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of technical issue. Yes, with audio. And
Good
stuff,
thing you're a radio guy.
Yeah, what had nothing to do with me. But the people at Hyatt. I mean, if you talk about a team that works together. They scrambled about 3 or 4 people all together that had knowledge of all those things, and they got to the bottom of it. It was really amazing to see the teamwork that they had. But had a good group of people out, good crowd yesterday, and they enjoyed it. And it's really it's an upper for me because you get involved with all the people that come that want to learn, that want to get this information and take it back to their companies and do something with it. And that's just exciting because of being inside that atmosphere for the whole day.
Oh, what great energy! I got to ask though, is you're I don't want to say the old dog, but an old dog occasionally capable of learning new tricks. Was there anything in Live to Lead that you kind of raised your head at and thought, look at it that way? That's new. Did you come away? Were there any takeaways for you as the producer?
I think there's takeaways, but the takeaway that I really saw this year, we did more of the interactive activities at the table, besides the speakers.
Yeah.
The takeaway for me, because we've done a little bit of that in the past, but not as much as yesterday, and to see the level of interaction and walk around the tables and to hear what people were talking about and how they were open and honest and they were saying things. I'm talking to the heads of the companies, right?
Yep.
And the CEOs and the general managers. I'm saying, how's it going to the table? And I can't believe it's there. We're getting people to really interact and talk. And
you know why?
Because
they weren't in Zoom.
I guess
they were face to face. They could interact maybe for the first time in some place where they were encouraged to interact maybe a little bit more. 7:29.
It was fun, Dave. Thanks.
Jerry will do the extra point. We got in late with all of the rambling about what's going on in the markets. Bitcoin number real quick.
16,479.
Okay, so still not 10,000.
So it's okay with the world still. We're still at Bitcoin 16,000. We know everything's okay.
Well, it's going to get better because the U.S. just beat Iran.
Oh,
in the World Cup,
really?
I can tell he's not paying attention in the World Cup at all. Yeah, apparently it was a must-win because if they'd have tied against Iran, they would have lost the World Cup. They would have been sent home.
They would have been out of the World Cup.
Out of the World Cup. But they beat Iran 1-0, and they are going to advance. And as I said, the Iranian players are going to go back and be executed by the Iranian government. They're big on that. I don't know what it is. We'll get around to Jerry Roberts in the extra point in a second, but we got to jump into news and headlines with Donna D. Brought to you here by the guys over at Burger King. And guess what today is? It's Wednesday, the last Wednesday in November, and that means it's the last of the Whopper Wednesdays until the next Whopper Wednesday month. So make sure you love the Whopper and grab your kids some free tickets to the Super American Circus Winterland show that's running through the end of the holidays. That's at BK News. Also brought to you by hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. If that's the way you communicate, use the phone 588-4232 and reach the hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Now with news and headlines, here is Donna D. Donna.
Mangilao Mayor Alan Ugacta is appealing for the undamaged return of the village's iconic giant chili pepper that was stolen yesterday morning. The mayor says it would take 7 people to carry the 700-pound mascot pepper. Anyone with information is asked to call police or the Mangilao Mayor's office. Meanwhile, Archbishop Michael Burns is urging Guam senators to vote on the Heartbeat Act before the 36th Guam legislature ends its term. Senator Talina Nelson's Bill 291 would place restrictions on access to abortion on Guam. The Archbishop has asked Vice Speaker Tina Muña Barnes to reconsider her early position to skip the bill and to place the measure on the legislative agenda for December and vote for its passage. And the National Weather Service wants to help teachers and students learn about weather on Guam. Meteorologists can either visit classrooms in person or virtually, or schools can organize field trips to the weather office in Tidzin to see firsthand how the weather is forecast. High school students have the opportunity to volunteer at the weather office and boost their college resume. Opportunities will be posted on the Guam National Weather Service Facebook page. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
Oh, I would have loved that in high school. I would have absolutely loved that. And even with the technology that they had, the limited technology that they had in the 1970s, I still think that would have been pretty cool to go and check out an actual weather station and see how it was that they put it together, especially maybe in the analog days where we didn't necessarily have access to all the satellite and radar imagery and computer models that we've got now.
Yeah,
it would be a big deal. 7:32.
There wasn't much of anything going on then.
No, there wasn't. I was thinking about that. I was remembering how back in the day, if I wanted to have them do something with a license, like a ham radio license. I mean, this is still fairly recent. It has not been that long since the FCC has converted into a digital system.
You had to send a letter.
You'd send letters
put
to
a stamp on this thing called an envelope.
Yeah, and you'd get things back on a 3x5 card that they had a duplicate of out there. And if you wanted to find that 3x5 card, that record, somebody had to go and pull a 3x5 card out from somewhere.
And waiting for it for 2 or 3 months was not unusual.
No, it wasn't.
It was okay.
7:33 in the morning. Jerry Robertson, this morning's Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Jerry?
Yesterday's Live to Lead event was a feast of ideas and strategies, and while the speakers were outstanding, I think the action that took place at the tables, as we mentioned just a few moments ago, but both before and after the speakers might have been more valuable. We'll chat about that next on the Extra Point.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Yesterday, a big crowd at Live to Lead picked up wisdom and powerful takeaways from a great lineup of speakers. John Maxwell nailed down several effective ways to communicate with people. He also had the best recipe for working with a mentor that I've ever heard. Eric Thomas challenged us to step up and take on a bigger role because people need us to do that. This is not a time to be timid. All of us have a larger role to play than the one we've been playing. Tim Elmore made a compelling presentation in comparing all of the generations present in the workplace today. In walking around the ballroom at the Hyatt, several company leaders said they have 5 generations employed. On top of that, there was a general agreement that Guam has most of the same generational issues that are found pretty much anywhere else. Further, if you're tempted to think that the media stories about generational differences are overblown and no big deal, you're going to be in for a serious surprise. Elmore gave ideas on how to connect with the various generations, and people who make the effort are going to see success when so many others are going to have trouble. Doris Kearns Goodwin, who knows more about U.S. presidents and their leadership styles than anyone on the planet, talked about a leader's need to find a place to think. And that resonated with me because for years I worked at home when we were publishing Directions magazine and only went into the office for weekly lunches with the team or when absolutely necessary. If you're present in the office, it's so easy for people to route calls to you or involve you in conversations about a problem instead of doing the thinking necessary to come up with a solution on their own. For me, working at home meant that I was able to get my work done. And secondly, I told people to figure things out on their own and only bring me into the mix if they hit a wall and needed to get unstuck. Patrick Lencioni pinpointed why some people do poorly in their job and have so little job satisfaction. I saw heads nodding as he went into all the reasons why so many people are miscast in their roles. If we knew ourselves better, it would be clear that we'd be making a big mistake in accepting a certain job. The speakers were good as advertised, and maybe better. However, what I think was even more valuable, as I was mentioning to Ray a few moments ago, was the interactive work we did at the tables. There were exercises that got people thinking about topics that aren't what you normally deal with in a busy workplace. As I walked around the room, table after table was engrossed in conversation, with people explaining how they felt about a question or about their strengths or what the company should do next to capitalize on what was learned at Live to Lead. Getting workers to talk and express their ideas and opinions is never a bad thing and can be a surprising experience for senior managers and business owners. We urge everyone to take the conversations from Live to Lead and move them back to the workplace to continue them there. Several companies have succession issues and are looking for people to identify as possible candidates for future advancement. Having open and honest exchanges on issues of importance to everyone sends a strong message that all voices here are welcome. And this is a place worth thinking about for long-term employment. If you weren't able to attend, hopefully we'll be able to host you at a future Live to Lead. That's the Extra Point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
Oh, see, now you did it. You know what you just did here for 2.5 minutes there? You've triggered people's FOMO.
Ooh.
Fear of missing out.
Fear of having missed out.
Yes, in this case. You missed a big show, and the last line there was, in my mind, a very effective tease, Mr. Roberts. When is the next Live to Lead? I know that this is, it's a project to put together on a regular basis.
Yeah, every year that we do this, we find out there are people who always say, we can't make it that day. Mm-hmm. And this time, we were later in the month. We're normally early in November. Okay. And we couldn't do that this time. There was an election. I didn't want it to be anywhere close to that because this ads were wall-to-wall ads about politicians, right, for the time. And then there was a thing called the Industry Forum that was in town. A lot of people were involved with that. So we kept pushing it back and pushing it back. And November 20, we've never been as late as November 29th before. So a lot of people were saying, gosh, can you, if you do another one, we'll come. So we will. It'll be in February. We'll do a catch up for all the people. And there were a ton of people this time that said they couldn't make it for one reason or another. So we will schedule for February for the second group to see Live to Lead. So if you didn't get a chance to come out and see it, and it's something that you'd like to do, we will be promoting that in February or in January.
So just a thought here. One of these days, I'd like to attend another one of yours.
How many times have I asked you?
But I'm working at the radio station. I got a job. It was a Saturday. Can we do a Saturday?
Probably not.
Okay.
But we...
off the hook. Great. I'm kidding.
I would love to have you to Live to Lead.
Okay. All right. Well, down the road. We'll see if I can use that as a launch into a longer kind of weekend. February, I don't know why, is in my head for a time where I might want to get on an airplane, go get some medical, physical done. And
you just tell me the days you'll be off island. We'll make sure we don't schedule for that time.
All right, groovy. It's 7:40. Yeah, when I find out, 7:40 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Jerry Roberts in the Extra Point. Donna D had news. Will return with Attorney General-elect Doug Moylan. Not my fault. Somebody said his name, and I gotta respond to that. He's next. Stay there.
Want more internet speed, more mobile data, more TV, and more reliable phone service? Introducing the new GTA Choice Bundles. The more you choose, the more you save. And for a limited time, sign up for a new Choice Bundle with home internet service up to Internet 50 and get a free Roku Express. Or Internet 75 or higher and receive a $100 account credit. Visit GTA.net and get more choices, more savings with GTA's Choice Bundles. Conditions apply. See website for details. GTA, we start with you.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
26 days till Christmas, and if you've got an idea on maybe getting somebody a fascinating and incredible high-tech Christmas gift beyond the box at the Micronesia Mall. That's where I want to send you. We got all kinds of the Apple stuff here, iPads. They got the iPhones. They got the really, really cool AirPods that are in there. All of the accessories that you need to protect. In fact, I just recently from Fel bought an iPhone 14, and I said, okay, thanks very much. He said, no, you're not leaving yet. We're going to get you a case, and one of these. It's not a plastic cover. It's a very thin sheet of glass that goes in and protects the screen. So when I walked out of the and the boy, the Kuya, installed it. He put the thing on, which is awesome because if I'd have done it, they'd have lint and all kinds of other crap on the inside. But they did an outstanding job. If you want something like that, maybe for you or somebody you love, Beyond the Box again at the Micronesia Mall. 7:42 in the morning, and as I said, talked to Doug Moylan yesterday. Didn't think I'd need to talk to him again today, but somebody mentioned his name again. John O'Connor at the Guam Daily Post reached out. We're talking about the Heartbeat Act, and reached out to. Which one is this? Which Areola was he talking to? Anita Areola, and she said that Moylan should, quote, check with his clients first, or runs into a potential conflict of interest. And it seems to me that the first time Doug Moylan was the Attorney General, he was able to clearly manifest who his clients were. Good morning, Doug. How you doing?
Good morning, Ray. Thanks for the call.
General, it's always good talking with you. And like I said, we've got the real hot topic here with the abortion law that is already on the books and only needs to have an injunction dissolved. And number two, a piece called the Heartbeat Bill over at the legislature. And depending on where you are in the mix, you can almost feel the pressure of something needing to happen with both of those. But in this case here, you've already said that among your duties would be to go and take care of the work needed to lift the injunction and then move forward and resolve all of the other outstanding issues. Attorney Anita Areola says that you need to check with your clients first. A thought, who are your clients in this case?
Well, Ray, let me preface it by saying that, I really don't want to be involved in this abortion issue. Quite frankly, there's a lot of drama going on out there. It's a public policy decision on what the senators, via the electorate that elected them, want to do with that abortion issue. Anita's comments were really very nasty, emotional, and personal attacks on me, as well as professional, talking about my ethics and stuff like that. And I think Anita, she really needs to run for AG or be an attorney general before she starts talking about what the ethics rules relate to for purposes of the AG's office, because we do not represent any particular government official. And, right back at her sort of thing. Who authorized her to speak to the governor? That is the AG's client. So she's been in communication with Leon Guerrero. She better have cleared it with the current AG on speaking with the AG's client. Take it back to when that law was passed on this issue.
Well, you'll recall she fought her mother tooth and nail and in court on that issue.
That's the disintent to part of this. You've got a daughter sent to law school by the parents and then goes against the mother, embarrasses the mother. And I remember that. I think I was just got out of high school, Father Duenas. But the point, and to focus on the issue, Ray, it's the ethics rules on an attorney general are different than any other private attorney. This idea that who was the attorney back then? The AG represented Joe Ada. That was the purported client. It was under the statutory attorney general. We're now an elected attorney general's office created by the Organic Act. The rules are different. We're the chief legal officer of the government of Guam. We follow the common law rules. It's a lot of legalese that I can explain, but I'm going to send it to when I get in, I'm going to send it to the civil division. They're going to do their legal research, and then they're going to move forward on it. The idea is that she's trying to silence the elected attorney general, elected by the people, that they can't, this person cannot enforce laws passed by our Guam legislature. That is a law passed by all of us who elected those people back in 1990. The only thing stopping it, and this is another big red flag, is the U.S. Supreme Court. And every attorney has a duty of candor to the tribunal, whether it's the Guam Supreme Court, whether it's the Guam Superior Court, or the District Court of Guam. When an attorney finds out that the law is no longer good and they brought that case or were involved in the case, they have a duty to come forward to the judiciary and let the court know, Your Honor, this is a case that has just been ruled upon. You have an injunction here. As an officer of the court, we have a duty, independent of the ethics issues, to inform the court. So I'm kind of taken aback. I know Anita's a good lawyer, but my goodness, the venom in her comments and things. This is a dispassionate issue. We're just going to approach it. We're going to do our job in the AG's office, make sure that laws passed by the people's legislature are properly enforced. And if those laws were improperly held back, which is the injunction, and the Supreme Court has said that injunction doesn't deserve to be there, then let our Guam laws come back into effect. If they want to fight about it after, let Anita get her top dollar payments. I think she was paid, what, $500,000 back then to be the attorney for the private parties, the ACLU, or whoever was involved back in 1990. But she did not represent the governor of Guam, Joe Ada, and by her making comments about the AG's client, she better not have talked to the governor without first clearing it with the current AG, because that is an ethical violation in itself. But, you know, I'm not here to throw stones at anybody. I'm just pointing out this is an issue that's hotly debated, as you indicated. The AG only has the role to make sure that whatever was put before the courts is being properly adjudicated, the court being updated. The Dobbs decision in June of 2022, a few months ago, why hasn't the AG's office come forward, informed the district court judge, and even the Ninth Circuit was involved in this? Your highest court of the land, our highest court of the land, the U.S. Supreme Court, has said that that injunction is no longer proper because the case that it relied upon has been reversed by the U.S. Supreme Court. So, you know, that's the path that this is following. For her to be coming at me personally, making negative attacks on me personally, I just find that, you know, kind of, you know, distasteful.
Well, she says she goes on to say that you'll have a fight on your hands, not just from us, but probably also from doctors here on Guam, and then moves on to another realm that I'm hearing a lot of this, but I don't see how it applies. She says it's also a ban on freedom of speech and people who try to obtain abortion through others. Very general, very draconian ban, but not just on abortion, but also on free speech. And I you know, I'm not as familiar with the old law as I'd like to be, but I don't know where in there are restrictions on communications or things that can or can't be said with regard to movement towards an abortion.
Well, you know, Ray, this is what I said before. The scope of what I addressed earlier on in the election was only the appropriateness or the inappropriateness of the injunction on this particular law.
Correct.
Now, again, I predicted that once it gets back into effect, you know, everybody and their brother is going to jump all over this thing, but let the courts decide. The AG's job is limited to making sure the laws passed by the legislature are either enforced or the AG challenges them, but until such time as the court intervenes and puts an injunction or stops that law, the law is the will of the people. And that's what's most troubling about Ms. Areola's attack. She is going straight against the will of the people. The legislature back in 1990 exhibited the will of the people. Joe Ada was the one that was trying to defend it. But in fact, the Attorney General doesn't represent Joe Ada, doesn't represent, you know, the Department of Revenue and Tax. The director doesn't represent anybody but the people of Guam. He is the chief, or she is the chief legal officer of the government of Guam. The government of Guam is the people of Guam. And quite frankly, and to get into it, we've already had case authority back when I was the Attorney General, and that's why it was so controversial. The Attorney General does not represent a particular government official. The Attorney General, once litigation is initiated, I don't care who's on the letterhead of the plaintiff in the case, it is now the Attorney General representing the people of Guam that makes all litigation decisions. It's in case authority. I believe even Judge Manabusan at the time ruled that. The Supreme Court of Guam in the airport decision ruled that the common law powers of the Attorney General are vested in the Attorney General, and that is one of the common law powers. Once litigation is initiated, the government official no longer has a say in it. That is the general rule. The Attorney General controls litigation. Hence, every criminal case. Do you think the governor is coming in and telling the Attorney General whether to settle or not settle a case? Whether plea bargains should be offered or not? Cannot. That is the common law rule. This attorney is a private attorney. She's being paid top dollar for speaking on these issues. We in the government, in the AG's office, are salaried lawyers. We represent the people. We represent them on a salaried basis. So we have no interest in trying to hurt or to further our pockets.
Attorney General,
you know, Ray,
let me ask a question here, and because it seems to me that I'm wondering if the foundation is being laid for a tactical move to find a way to prevent you, legally prevent the incoming Attorney General from taking any action on the lifting of the injunction. Is that possible?
Well, that's exactly what she's doing, but Attorney Areola is attempting to pull the rug out of the Attorney General, and that is one of the reasons why the case, and this isn't new, Ray, this is not even, it was developed before even Guam created its Attorney General. The Attorney Generals in the United States do not represent government officials. The fact that she's trying to say that I can't represent the people of Guam in making sure their laws are actually enforced, then who's going to represent the people of Guam? The governor doesn't represent the people of Guam, and that kind of highlights the reason why they made the elected Attorney General elected. And 2003 was when it first started, and these were the case authorities that I was criticized for trying to develop and so forth. The AG is not the attorney for the governor. We're going back to 2003 again and having to re-ask that question, but fortunately for the AG's office, it's already been answered.
Well, I was going to say there are a number of fairly remarkable rulings that made it very, very clear that you were not. If it didn't make it clear that the office was independent, it certainly made it clear that you certainly did not work for the governor's office.
That is correct, and we're bringing back the old powers and duties questions. I'm glad that we did that back then. Every AG since me, the five AGs after. Five AGs after, clearly they benefited from the groundwork we did back then. So, with all due respect to Attorney Areola, we'll see her in court.
There's 752. I appreciate that last phrase. Now, one other thing is I got a couple of thoughts in my head. Real Joe, of course, wants me to ask you if you're going to go looking for the Mangilau chili, but I'll save that for a little
well,
bit.
Ray, I have to tell you, Ray, that Mrs. Tolan during the election. Remember her Tolan business down in Antigua?
Yeah.
They took one of her cannons. Those cannons, I think, are in the range of tons. So if somebody's going around with some lift truck or some, bunch of guys.
That can pick all of that up, yeah.
That's how bad Guam is right now. They're stealing things that normally you can't steal, and I recommend it to her. You got to bolt it into the ground.
Well, why would you steal a cannon? What are you going to do with it? Those are no longer any good for I don't know any kind of violent activities. What are you going to do with the chili? Going to have that in the backyard? Somebody's going to see it and call the police. I don't think you can fence that for an ounce of crystal methamphetamine. But yeah, it is just another indication of how bad things are here on Guam. And now you've completely derailed me, and I can't remember what I was going to. I remember. Now, there's a brewing controversy, and I think Francie and the Ed Board are going to wait until summer before they get to it. But is it possible that maybe the Attorney General's office ought to, working with public health, figure out what the heck is going on in our southern schools, Ocean View Middle School, Southern High, and what are the actual public health emergencies, and actually apply some pressure on that so that they get the attention that they deserve and get these kids out of what apparently an unsafe situation?
I think that's part of the AG's job. I would welcome working with Department of Education and Public Health on making sure that our children are properly in an environment that's not hazardous. So, and I believe AG Lim Tiaco has taken some work on that respect as well. So that's
shut down JFK, didn't she?
Right. She took affirmative action. But I would work with the government agencies that have direct oversight on that, and hopefully it can all be resolved. But if there is a violation that especially affects health, it's got to be addressed.
Absolutely. Well, they're talking about mold, and remediation on that gets more expensive the longer that you wait, unfortunately. 7:55 in the morning. Attorney Moylan, I appreciate your time. We'll talk again soon. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you, Ray. You too.
All right. 888-825-5888, TALK. Boy, I didn't realize he was going to come out swinging as hard as he did. Did I make faces?
Yeah.
When he did all that? Okay, just checking. For those of you that missed the beginning of the conversation with Attorney Doug Moylan, I'd made a couple of references to a conversation that John O'Connor had in the Guam Daily Post with Attorney Anita Areola. I think that is actually her first name, Attorney. I think it might be Attorney and then Anita Areola. I've never heard her being referred to without all three of them. Attorney Anita Areola. At any rate, the point that she is making, that Doug needs to check with his clients first. He is the chief legal officer of the government of Guam, and that would be a conflict of interest. He says, no, I work for the people of Guam, not necessarily the government of Guam, and so it would go in another direction. Then he took a couple of, told me how he felt about the swipes that he thought he was taking on this chapter and verse. So what you're going to watch want to do is YouTube. You can watch it live, and I think if you're watching it live, I don't know, check with the guys on the screen. You might be able to go backwards on that and check it again. I'll see if I can post it just for grins a little bit later on. 7:56, and just for grins right about now, since we're talking with the Attorney General and crime and things like that, the interesting story about Gladwin Albert was at the Agana Shopping Center.
What?
And was it Gladwin is his name?
Gladwin?
I'm telling you, buddy, there's an assault in this community on mascot and mascot-like items. They've stole the giant chili from Manila, and this guy has been busted for assaulting a penguin at the Agana Shopping Center. No, it's true. The defendant was observed kicking a large Christmas penguin ornament, which was located near the front entrance of the Agana Shopping Center, causing damage to the ornament, to wit, 2 large cracks. And the defendant was thereafter observed walking up to the Christmas lights that were mounted on the railing on the second floor, and he cut the wires to them.
Ooh, that's crazy.
I know, absolutely. Well, hold on, we'll get to motive here in a second. The behavior was captured on surveillance video. The cost to replace the damaged items is around $500. Police were able to apprehend the defendant on the 28th. The attack on the penguin occurred on the 26th, but they were able to apprehend him on the 28th. After he returned to the Agana Shopping Center, he admitted to the police that he used a gray knife to cut the lights and that he did kick the penguin because he was mad and wanted to take his anger out on something. The defendant stated that he was mad because his auntie's stepson was trying to fight with him. So you get your yang up already, right? You're mad. You don't want to fight with a guy because it's your auntie's stepson or something like that. So you got to go and take it out on something.
Destroy townhouse.
Destroy exactly. Oh my God, what have we gotten ourselves into around here? Gladwin Simri Albert has been charged with criminal mischief. Doesn't look like he's got any priors. This might be one of those easy cases where the judge says, you know what, I'm sending you to anger management school is what I'm going to be doing. They need to do the same thing with Anthony Cruz. Anthony Cruz is the guy. Donna might have that story in the next hour's news or something like that. Anthony Cruz is the guy that wanted a cigarette.
No.
Yeah, I know you had it earlier. So he wanted a cigarette, and the guy said, I don't have any. And then he started to burn the house down. Yeah, you know, I've been fiending too. You know what? Sometimes you got to go to the ashtray. Sometimes you got to go to the ashtray and take one out that's got a few puffs left in it. You got to like that. It's gross. I hated doing it. It's the one thing about smoking that I don't miss. Okay, but that and there's the smell. But, you know, a buddy of mine was asking me about that last night. Andy was asking me, he says, well, what do you mean if they discovered a cure for cancer, you'd start smoking again? Didn't you hate the smell? I said, dude, back in those days, everybody smoked. So we couldn't tell that we were stinky one way or the other. And we all had badass cologne, you know, that covered up everything. But can you imagine, man? You got the cigarettes with the flip top cover on it. You pop one of those things out, gold Dunhill lighter. And really, really fancy ashtrays, man. That was game for guys back in and girls back in the old days. Not anymore. Anyway, 7:59 and change. Coming up, Fox News Live. Donna D with look at big news and headlines on the other side. It wouldn't be a Wednesday if I didn't get a chance to go over some celebrity birthdays, and there's one or two nice ones coming up. So stick around, Brown. All of that happening ahead right here, 93.3 KUSG. Got you. This is Pika's Best. This is The Point.
Reached a verdict on Lisa Brady, Fox News. Just getting word the jury has a decision in the seditious conspiracy case against the Oath Keepers founder over the Capitol riot. However, they haven't announced the verdict yet. The defense argued there was no plan to attack the Capitol. A big win for Team USA on a must-win day at the World Cup.
It comes into the box again, an Iranian player looking for a penalty, and the game is over.
The U.S. defeating Iran 1-0 on Fox Sports to advance to the knockout round. It happened while President Biden was at an event in Michigan.
USA, USA. That's a big game, man.
When I spoke to the coach and the players, I said, you can do this. They went, they did it. God love them.
U.S. soccer officials just announcing, though, that the goal scorer, Christian Pulisic, has been taken to the hospital with an abdominal injury. The president visiting a computer plant in Michigan to call his economic plan a success after holding his first post-midterm meeting with top congressional leaders from both parties. Tomorrow, the House plans to vote on a bill aimed at preventing a rail strike after the president's call to intervene. But there's some bipartisan opposition about forcing unions to accept an agreement that doesn't address paid sick leave.
It's incumbent upon Congress to do everything that it can to protect these workers, to make sure that the railroad starts treating them with the respect and the dignity that they deserve.
Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, the president argues the broad impacts of a rail strike must be avoided. Parts of the South in line for severe weather, including possible tornadoes and flooding rain.
All the way from the Gulf Coast stretching up into central Indiana, areas where you could see some of that severe weather, but really the bullseye is largely across Mississippi, stretching just a little bit back into Louisiana and then up into Alabama, areas where you could see maybe some of the biggest tornadic activity.
Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. America is listening to Fox News.
Fly to new experiences with 3 times United miles with First Hawaiian Bank's United credit card. Earn 3 times per dollar spent on United tickets purchased through United ticketing channels until February 28, 2023, and 2 times miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United for more information. Don't wait. Apply today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Choice Broadcasting has done it again.
Votes are in and we hit the trifecta.
93.3 The Point, Pika's best radio station.
Kyle Mandapat, Pika's best radio personality.
Daryl Azama, Pika's best DJ.
The stations of Choice Broadcasting say thanks for all your votes and support.
If you're an advertiser, find out what our best can do for you and your business.
Call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages.
And let us get your message out to Pika's best listeners with Pika's best broadcasters.
Podcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
The lame duck Congress has a lot on its plate and faces a fast approaching deadline to avoid a government shutdown.
Congressional leaders met with President Biden to talk about a spending bill needed to prevent a partial government shutdown December 16th.
A continuing resolution doesn't cut that. It clearly hurts our military. It clearly hurts our national security.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is pushing for a long-term bill funding the government through the rest of the fiscal year. Top House Republican Kevin McCarthy responds.
I'm not going to sit back and let some bill pass in the middle of the night. I'm not going to let them continue to do this runaway spending.
President Biden is also urging Congress to boost funding for the COVID response and Ukrainian military aid. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The U.S. Senate taking up a landmark bill aimed at protecting same-sex marriage as part of federal law. Senate approval would send it to the House for a final vote. Will Smith finally breaks down what happened when he slapped host Chris Rock at the Oscars.
In a conversation with Trevor Noah, he explained that he had always wanted to be Superman. He wanted to swoop in and save the damsel in distress. However, he said, I had to humble down and realize that I'm a flawed human.
That was a horrific night, as you can imagine. You know, there's many nuances and complexities to it, you know.
Smith was appearing on The Daily Show to promote his new film, Emancipation. The Apple original film is set to premiere in theaters on December 2nd and globally on Apple TV Plus December 9th. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow up about 3 points once everything settled after sliding at times during the session. But the S&P and the NASDAQ both finishing lower. Oil prices edging higher, getting back over $78 a barrel. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Troy Ryan Damian, who was accused of his part in the 2020 killing of Michael Castro, has reached a plea deal with prosecutors. Damian appeared before Superior Court Judge Maria Senzon yesterday, and defense is waiting for a formal offer from the government. Defense attorney Joshua Walsh explained that the terms are resolved and only need to be committed to writing. Damian was charged with aggravated murder in connection to the death of Castro, who was last seen in October of 2020. Damian and co-defendant Nicholas Moore are accused of shooting Castro during a car chase on Cross Island Road and placing Castro's body in a drum after he was killed. Damian went with officers to a remote jungle area in Jigo where Castro's remains were found. Senzon elected to set another hearing date for January. In the Jerry Kitchen case, off-duty police officer Joneen Terlahi, who was in the red Jeep when it crashed into the restaurant in February, is said to have sent WhatsApp messages following the crash asking people to deny that she was at the crime scene. Screenshots can be found on Candid News. Nikita Uggan was eventually charged as the driver of the Jeep, but defense attorney Dave Lujan says Uggan was not the driver and claims the whole case is a cover-up. Terlahi is the granddaughter of Senator Jose Pito Terlahi, who is the oversight chairman for GPD, and insists she was not a passenger in the Jeep. Joneen Terlahi is set to testify in Superior Court before Judge Alberto Tolentino when trial resumes tomorrow. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
The fight for healthy air, water, and land made its way to the Guam Congress building during a public hearing for Senator Sabina Perez's Bill 360 yesterday. The measure seeks to ban open burn, open detonation, and the transshipment of hazardous waste on and into Guam. Supporters say the instances that occur on military installations seep into the water, contaminate the air, and food sources. Those who oppose the bill say there are dangers with unexploded ordnance and hazardous waste, and that there are also strict regulations in place. They add that unexploded ordnance found on civilian and Gov Guam land will have to remain where it is found. Besides that, Guam was a transshipment hub for hazardous waste going from the CNMI, FSM, and other islands to their final disposal area. Banning transshipment of hazardous waste would dump it on neighboring islands. Guam EPA officials say they had not had the chance to examine alternatives to open detonation for disposal. And attorney Peter Skro has weighed in on AG-elect Doug Moylan's statements about plans to move to dissolve the injunction placed on Guam's abortion ban. Skro drafted the Guam Heartbeat Act, a proposal that would ban abortions once a fetal heartbeat is detected, normally within about 6 weeks, which is earlier than most women know they are pregnant. The measure makes no exception for rape or incest, only medical emergencies. While Skro applauded Moylan for deciding to dissolve the injunction on the old ban, he also stated that in drafting the Guam Heartbeat Act, there had never been any discussion or intent to have women face criminal charges for obtaining an abortion. He urged lawmakers to pass the Guam Heartbeat Act onto the legislative agenda for December. And those were your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. I got there's something. I got beeping. There's beeping here. Okay. Anyway, 8:10 in the morning. It's just that people, I'm an important guy, and people are reaching out to me and forget that I'm actually on the air right now and can't necessarily respond to everything. Although the reason why it's kind of interesting, and I got the thing up, is because, like I said, it's a new phone. I don't know how to mute it just yet. I don't. Yeah. Something's changed.
You'll figure it out.
Something has changed because my last phone, I had muted it and then couldn't figure out how to unmute it. So people get mad at me like, I've been calling you. I didn't hear the phone ring, but then I look and said, oh yeah, missed call from Joe, missed call from Donna, missed call from everybody. Hey, sorry. I don't know. I told it to be quiet and now I don't know how to get the sound back on. And they said something about a volume switch or something. But
You're the
leave
best, man.
Leave that technology for the kids here.
I was going to say, isn't there a switch on the side?
It might be. I don't know.
He's always 5 missed calls away.
Hit me on the WhatsApp. Even on the air, I'll find a way to get to you. All right, so here's your MPOX weather today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, although I think all of that should have washed away. Let me just get the radar up on the screen so I can see it. There was a big chunk of lousy weather that had moved through the island earlier this morning, but I think it's dried off now with the sun. And we go back to the satellite imagery, and you can see where Guam is on this, and you can see that most of that junk is going to be moving off, and we're just left with some pretty open skies. There's some dry air coming down, which should cool things off a little bit.
Do you see the pink clouds, Ari?
I know it's a pink hue. They're not pink clouds. It's a pink hue in the.
Landon told me those are female farts.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
I don't know.
Must be coming from Hawaii then, where the Mauna Loa is their Madame Pele farts, if you will. Partly sunny today, highs near 86 degrees, winds east up to 17 miles an hour, gusting as high as 22. Isolated showers in the forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy tomorrow with highs near 87 degrees. They're going to say possible isolated showers, but if you got an opportunity to get some Thursday and beach time in, to it. Mostly cloudy in the forecast for tomorrow night, and by Friday, partly sunny. Nice to be able to talk about Friday weather on a Wednesday, if you know what I mean. Sunset tonight at 5:51. There it is. News and weather together on The Point.
Pacific Points is more rewarding with friends. Get 100 bonus points for every friend you refer that signs up and earns points. Both you and your friends will enjoy awesome perks like discounts on Shell fuel, rebates on your IT&E bills, vouchers at foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. Plus, earn more points to upgrade your membership tier and enjoy even more exclusive rewards. Learn more at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu, or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
Hey, when's the poetry slam? You see that in the front page of the newspapers? All the beautiful people that were at the legislature.
Great colors, man.
It's going, hey, when's the poetry slam? Let's go hang out. We'll do it at Venue. Venue's a good place. A lot of places to, Anyway, 8:14 in the morning. What was I supposed to do? Portions of the program brought to you by APL. American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, and the team over at Wendy's wanting you to start your morning with the $4 breakfast deal. Bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Get a small seasoned potato for just $4. They got eggs, oven bacon, or savory sausage, and hot, crispy potatoes that you don't want to put down. It's got it all, and it's only $4. Behind every great deal at Wendy's is an even greater breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
All right, Bill's asking a question, and Mike asked Troy this a little bit later on. It's a red Jeep question. How was the ticket ready for payment the next day? And according to news report, was paid. Who covered the ticket? Was it imprudent driving, reckless driving, or something like that in the Jerry Kitchen case? I'll see what I can find out. In the meantime, it looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. Jonene's supposed to take the stand with Attorney David Lujan conducting the interrogation in this case. So foregone conclusion, he's going to get his client off. I mean, that's without, I think, question at this point. The other question, though, is what happens next? There's another shoe that needs to get dropped. There are other questions like that one that need to get pursued, and the question is who's going to be pursuing that? 8:15 on the Ray Gibson Show. I wanted to put this up on the screen. It's the traffic map. And can show you in kind of real time what's going on your roadways. Now, last hour, I'd put up a graphic that said you could expect delays getting into Anderson Air Force Base. It looks like there are some delays. It looks like there might be a slowdown. Doesn't look as bad as other places this morning as we make our way southbound Marine Corps Drive. We've got traffic over at 8, 10, and 16. Ugly traffic. It looks like it starts over by the post office area, Tammy Post Office's place, and slows you down until you get to the Happy Mart intersection. Then you ought to make it just fine until you get to the Golden Sea intersection. And the one good spot that gets you into Tees, and there's no other ways in there. But looking at some other ruddy traffic in that area, including what looks like continuous dogging out traffic from the intersection all the way up to the Paylist. If you're moving southbound up there, we got some car line traffic, and then we got some ugly traffic as you make your way through the Telempago Ordot area and then up into Sinahanya. Don't know exactly what's going on. That one doesn't look like there's an accident. Maybe just a ton of cars on the roads, or maybe there is something over by the cost you less. We'll see how it plays. If you got anything happening on Guam's roadways, by all means, let me know about it. It's 8:17. And a time that I don't know why I've just kind of reserved, I suppose, this spot here to take care of celebrity birthdays. Donna D usually leaves after the 8:30-ish newscast, and so I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to talk about this is my favorite kind of pop culture because, for the most part, you get celebrity birthdays, and people identify with their favorite personalities and stars and, movies and singers and things like that. So as an example, although I don't know that I've ever considered this guy very, very funny, Woody Allen is 87 years old. And I know the punchlines that you're thinking about, Yellow Box, keep it to yourself. Keep that to yourself, please. He is 87 years old. I think he might have been the funniest in a movie where he played, if you can believe it, James Bond.
No.
No. 1960s version of Casino Royale. Which is it has that. I got to do a little bit more research on it because it has the feel like there were like 5 different directors in the movie and everybody had a hand in one part of it and they didn't really talk to each other and just kind of stitched the story together because it was one of those kind of weird 60s movies where it would just kind of do these weird jump shots. And before you know it, there were, it was a battle in space with Woody Allen playing James Bond. Man. Absolutely. Ridley Scott, there's a director whose movies we can follow. He's 85 years old today. Mandy Patinkin is 70. Billy Idol, the singer, is 67 years old. Only? Well, I thought that was pretty old for the guy. Billy Idol, 67.
Wedding.
Yeah. I still sing. Might actually be somewhere on the internet floating around an actual video of me last weekend singing one of his songs over at the beach, trying to show the younger people, how cool I was. But anyway, happy 67th birthday to him. Ben Stiller. Who is a funny guy?
Yeah, Ben.
Ben Stiller is 57 years old. Alicia Cuthbert. That sounds like it's supposed to be another name, but I have meth problems, so I can't say it. Alicia Cuthbert is 24 years old. Do you have any idea who that is?
No.
Alicia Cuthbert. Hello, are you there? Are you shopping? Are you Amazoning right now on me? Are you Amazoning on me right now? Because
she's buying plush toys on the internet ring.
I'm buying needle threaders.
All you women are the same. Whenever I'm talking to somebody, I realize that they're not paying attention to me. First of all, nothing new there, huh? But then it always comes down to they're shopping for something on Amazon. So
needle threader for $5.
A needle threader.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you've got vision issues.
I do.
But you go stay in any hotel.
No, the one I was using one yesterday, and it was one of the cheap ones that come with.
Yeah, with the sewing kit.
I stabbed myself with it, and then And then, it comes out of the thing because it's just in a hole.
It's very, very tiny. Yeah, it's like tungsten-sized wire.
I need something more hardcore than that, so I figured Amazon would have it.
Mark's on the line. He said he needs to go on right now about the needle threader.
It's an emergency.
All right. I, like Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, will declare an emergency on this. Mark, go ahead with the needle threader result.
I saw the Facebook hack.
Yes.
Use a toothbrush.
Yes. Tack with a toothbrush.
That, right?
Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to find it. Hold on. Toothbrush needle thread hack. It's there. I've seen it.
And it works. I've done it. I've used it ever since I saw it. I've used it. So it's like.
Well, you do a lot of sewing, huh, Mark?
All right, I've got.
No. The wife hands it to me and says, "Here, take care of it." And,
hold on. I gotta get past the Doodle video ad. It's either that or Grammarly that's got to come up. I'm actually going to let it play for 5 seconds. I believe these guys paid money for it, so we'll let them play it. And so there it is. You take there. You see what's going on here? All right, for those of you that aren't watching the show. Ding, 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 ding. Do I need to play that again? Yes. Okay.
One more time.
See if there's audio, Joe. Let me just see if the audio thing will play. That's it. That looks like all you need to do is just put the thing in there and then bang.
Forever.
I know. This is the real value here, ladies and gentlemen, of the Ray Gibson
I hope that
Show.
works on darning thread.
Darn it.
Darning.
So the thread sits on top of the bristles of the needle, and then you take the needle with the whole end of it, and you put that onto the bristle, which also has the thread, and it will push through, and you'll be done. So
I'm gonna try it today.
We just say $5 for whatever the gizmo is that you were looking at, and $10 for shipping, unless you're using.
No, it's free shipping.
Oh, it's free shipping on that one. Oh, that's right, because
you gotta lick up the
Prime
yarn,
time,
dude.
right?
Yeah, well, because you have Prime when you're.
Mark, you're crazy
on the thread.
Hey, Mark, the quick question. I'm going to ask you, and because this actually could contribute somewhat to the, I'm sure, investigation. They're probably putting together all the best and brightest of the Guam Police Department to find the mayor's big chili from Mangilao. Oh, can we be mature about this, please? But Doug Moylan brought up a good point. Doug brought up a good point when I was talking to him. Is somebody sacking one of the canyons over in Anigua? Over at what's his name's place, Tolan's place?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that
now,
was a while ago, though.
Well, I know it was a while ago, but I mean, there are equipments that people can load on the back of a pickup truck or something like that that will give them that lift capacity?
Yeah, one of those engine hoists.
Ah.
Now that big chili pepper was actually, I think, made out of fiberglass, so it probably wasn't that hard.
No, I heard it was copper.
It was
copper. Stainless, bro.
Oh yeah, that was copper. That's serious money and.
Well, yeah, but it would be serious lifting too. I mean, would be a little bit more. I mean, just by looking at it, it'd be a little bit more than your standard engine. But I hear what you're saying. So somebody with an engine lid, just stick that in the back of a truck, and then you've got the ratcheting so that you can go ahead and pull it up and load it up on the bed of the truck and then zoom away.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be one way, or you get 5 or 6 big guys and just throw it in the back.
5 or 6 big drunk guys.
I hope they didn't touch their eyes after that.
Don't touch your birdie after you touch the big chili. 8:24 in the morning, Mudkus. I'll talk to you pretty soon, Brett.
Take care, Mike.
Have an outstanding day. Appreciate you listening. Just zooming in here with an emergency call to the radio station to tell Donna.
I thought you were joking.
No, I had it in my head, actually. I had it in my head. I could not have described it as well as he did, though. All right, special events to celebrate today. It's Choose Women Day. Choose Women Day.
Is that lesbian or no?
No, honey. Can you mow the yard? It's your turn to drive the bush cutter.
You.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you go by the Agenia post office? They were supposed to have done all of the zabao.
Oh, they cut the yard.
Yeah, they were supposed to have done that the other day.
Good job.
Because I'm reaching out to Tammy on a related issue, and I'm like, baby, you're not mad at me, right?
For
all
corn
the
maze.
Yeah, we were kind of having fun with the idea that the Agana post office was starting to look like it was run by the government of Guam because nobody's gone anywhere near that thing with a lawnmower or anything like that. And she's, no, you guys are okay. They've got it together. Apparently, there's not enough maintenance guys to do that work. And, if you got guys that are capable of doing something, you take them out from that job and you have them fill into something else. But they were able to find the old lawnmowers and the big glass jugs of gasoline, like the old days, and should have gone out there and taken care of that bit of yard work out there. But thanks very much. And I made her the offer. I said, look, I know how to drive a bush cutter. If you absolutely positively need, I don't actually own a bush cutter. I've got one of those little Ryobi trimmers from Home Depot.
Yeah, electric.
Yeah,
battery.
Battery, bro.
You're a man.
Battery. You can get the blower when I'm done.
Two-stroke electric.
Just too much trouble. It's Mason Jar Day. Oh,
yeah.
Did you hear that? Women always go, oh, mason jar.
They're so cute.
They are so cute. I can't bear to throw them away. If somebody gives me something in a mason jar, like they give me the honey, comes in a mason jar, even though the little one that Dennis Larson gave us with the infused honey. Anyway, as soon as I was done with that, I washed it out. And I'm thinking, I'll just toss it, but I can't because it's a mason. There's just something special about a mason jar. There's over at Benson's, and even that place up in Dedado that I can't remember the name of it. They've got sections there dedicated to mason jars. And like I said, you give somebody something in a mason jar, I guarantee you'll be able to go back to their home 20 years later, and that mason jar will still be there. Might not be holding the same thing that you originally put in there, but people just are not built to throw mason jars away. It is Methamphetamine Awareness Day.
Yay.
I think they mean this in the bad way.
We're super aware.
Yeah, we are very, very aware here. Yeah, our meth thieves are better than your meth thieves. They've actually gone out there and steal big chilies, big fiberglass chilies.
They should have a meth Olympics, Ray, and we'll send all of our meth addicts to challenge each other.
Meth Olympics.
Various
it's Personal Space Day. Maybe that was the exercise up at Anderson. I don't. Personal Space Day and Stay at Home because you're well day. Well, that'll be interesting to explain to your boss, isn't it? Sorry, I'm not coming to work today because I feel too good to be hanging around with you guys and getting work done. Ray Gibson said the weather was going to be nice, so bye-bye. Well, there it is, 8:27 in the morning. That'll make up for our last big look at news and headlines with Donna D in about a minute or so. Although there's a part of me, Real Joe, that wants to, based on the same piece of paper I'm reading from right now.
Yeah.
I want to make it so that, ladies, you will get something really, really good for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know how you do that? Got to get in a fight with your man first.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's all timing, right?
Yeah, knock down, just kind of knock down, drag out. You don't love me fight. Do the quiet treatment for a couple of days, and then, he's got to do that makeup thing by buying you expensive toys from up at the mall. Beyond the Box in particular, if you're looking. All right, so things men don't know about their wives. I know there are many wives out there listening to the broadcast right now going, oh, nah, my husband could totally pass this. He knows everything about me. We're best friends. Are you ready for it? Soulmates. All right, ladies.
Wrong sound.
Number one, it's the Soulmate Challenge. Ask him what your favorite song is. Oh, yeah, dangerous ground. Ask him the specific day you met. Aha, tricky. Her favorite clothing store or brand? The answer is Lululemon, by the way. Just guys, I know you're going to need some help here. Her shoe size. Oh my God.
10.5.
I could
with not bunion space.
Not a clue. Anything that she is allergic to, Mr. Soulmate. Can you name any or all of her allergies? This works best in the mainland, but any more around here these days it works too. What is her natural hair color? And finally, what is her bra size? What is her bra size?
That's hard.
There are women that don't know their bra size. That consistently it's either too big or too small, and that describes generally the attitude sometimes people have is your bra is too tight, and that's why you're all pissed off at everything all the time. Could you go back and get it sized properly, angry. And then you go, Oh, that's so much better. Or better yet, just stop wearing them completely. Unless a doctor tells you to, I wouldn't bother with it anymore. Bra size is the last one there. So how did your soulmate do? And let me know what he got you for Christmas. You can thank me later. It's 8:30 in the morning. Donna D's got her last big look at news and headlines after these.
Half a Day Guam Chili's is going local, featuring new menu items. All your Guam favorites with the Chili's twist. Taste the heat with Chili's Cutun Pica wings with just enough of a kick to leave you wanting more. Dive into the savory flavors of coconut cream and spices with the Southwest Tinectac. Test your taste buds with Chili's Denancy glazed roast chicken and ribs, or hear the excitement coming off the sizzling stir fry with your choice of chicken, beef, or shrimp. At Chili's, more life and great local favorites happen here.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you win up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, Foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, Foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
You did it. You did it, Joe.
Aw, we did it.
We got upbeat Christmas music. That's just, see, now that's more festive. That's like, getting stuck in traffic on Christmas Eve music. That's what I'm digging here. 8:31 in the morning. Now, Matt Geiger's online and made a comment recently, just 2 words, found it. Now, I don't know, what are you talking about that you found here, bro? Are you pleased because you found the morning show, or is there an indication that maybe they found the big chili?
Oh, nice. Really?
What a great way to end the program here, is just put everybody, on the awareness that there's the big chili in Manila has been stolen.
I've been calling them, man.
Right? Oh, yeah. The mayor?
Yeah.
You can't get the mayor?
No, I'm waiting, man.
Well, he's probably just in mourning. Could you imagine? He's walked over to the church. He's at the front pew. He's just crying his eyes out and praying. Here. Oh, you know what? Never mind. That's the problem. You're at Santa Teresita. You need to go to St. Jude's. You need to go up to St. Jude's. Judy, turn around. What was once lost now is found. You got to do that there, and then the God will show you exactly which Saki Malanya took the thing. Anyway, 8:32.
Wait, how does that go?
I don't know. I'm sure I blew it. I'm not a good Catholic. Judy.
And I think it's St. Anthony, man.
Turn around.
I think it's a lost and found, dude.
Judy, what?
We're such great Catholics, aren't we, Ray?
Well, I'm looking for a savior on the Facebook.
Sister would be proud.
Looking for somebody from the savior.
Would be proud of you.
Come on, you're letting me swing here in the breeze, guys. You gotta. Judy, turn around. What was once lost now is found. Maybe.
Peter Santos.
I don't like you guys now. It's 8:30. I'm glad we're doing a short show tomorrow. It's 8:32 on a Wednesday morning. Where's our last big look at news and headlines today? The needle in a haystack lady, it's Donna D. How'd we do today?
After 45 minutes of deliberation, a jury found 30-year-old AJ Muñoz Toves guilty of second-degree robbery. He was accused in an armed robbery at Valencia Check Cashing Services in Dedido back in July. Officers tracked him down after Toves forgot his wallet at the crime scene. Sentencing is set for February 23. And prosecutors are asking that Evan Montville Cohen, who pleaded guilty to identity theft, be sentenced to the higher end of the calculated range. The range of prison time is between 33 and 41 months. The high end of the range means Montville Cohen could be sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison. His attorney asked for a lenient 12 months of home confinement, but prosecutors argue that Montville Cohen has been a serial fraudster for decades and needs to be stopped from engaging in future offenses. And oh no. Something's updating and I can't see anything. Wait, here it is. South Korean Air Force service members are on Guam to participate in Operation Christmas Drop through December 12. The ROK Air Force says the U.S. military first invited South Korea to participate in Operation Christmas Drop last year. Preliminary Christmas drop training will continue until this Saturday, and the airdrop itself will run from December 4 to the 9th and include provisions of medicine, clothing, and other goods to island communities in the Pacific. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
Okay, I must have completely blown that St. Jude thing.
Yeah,
this is
I'm
weird.
pretty sure you did.
The number on Facebook had gone from, we were in the mid 50s a second ago, and now it has dropped down to 2.
Oh, wow.
It said like there's 2 viewers, and it might be just the 2 of us.
So
Oh, those
you're
people
lost
needed the
and
bathroom.
found.
They're
They're
in the
lost
bathroom
and
ring.
found.
Diarrhea.
Judy, lost and found.
Okay,
What?
so I don't know. The Facebook, I mean, YouTube side is fine, but the Facebook has dropped down to just 2. Now, I've seen this kind of thing happen before when we played like a copywritten song by accident once upon a time. The theme, that Christmas thing that you were playing, where'd you get that, Real Joe?
I found it. I have my ways.
You got your ways? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. So it may,
No way,
it may
that
be
didn't
like
drop
that for a
us.
while. No, it didn't drop us. But sometimes what happens is if you're in copyright violation mode, it will appear as though you don't have as many viewers on for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's some weird kind of Facebook punishment thing. But there's still people chiming in, right? Last thing I got is Tony Walford watching and Dave Dinsman, who says, I don't like to throw glass bottles away either, mostly about the anarchistic side. but the glass is the ultimate recyclable and reusable material. For which I do have a riff. 8:35 in the morning. I think there might be 1 or 2 of these on island. I don't think they're very, very expensive, but one of these days I'd like for the guys over at, say, Payless to have in front of, taking up a good parking space, in front of the store somewhere, a glass crusher. So that you can take your wine bottles, your beer bottles, whatever it is that you've got, your mason jars. Get rid of those mason jars. Yes, every husband on Guam says, yes, get rid of them. Get rid of them. I can't use them for my tools and crap. Never mind, just throw it away. But get all of those glass things, and then you put them in the chipper at the Payless, and out from the bottom of it will come pulverized glass. You don't want to put that in there. But pulverized glass.
And then what? You take it?
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, I mean, it depends on how fine you do it, right? There's ways that you can modulate the chipper so that it can be used for like sandblasters to remove paint from metals, right, or rust and all kinds of that kind of thing. Or in the very least, it's not dangerous anymore. There's no edges. It's almost it almost returns to what looks like sand. And then you can take that back to the beach, use it in construction or something like that. There may be other alternative uses for those kinds of things. Aggregate for asphalt, if you want to go in that direction. Or if you're very arty-farty, maybe the idea is we take these things and we create a glass blowing industry. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
right?
want to blow some glass.
Don't we? You ever? I mean, there's all you get these things on Facebook and on social media.
It's so hot.
It doesn't. Well, yeah, but it's hot on Guam, right? So it would be something that it's a real skill to be able to take sand, turn it into glass, and make that glass take on some kind of shape. And I don't know why. I mean, as crafty as we are around here, as artistic as we're capable of being, why we don't do something like that. I mean, if we've got access to a product that we can use, raw materials. In Okinawa, their mascot is a thing called a shisa, with like a lion, dragon, dog thing. And there's a company out there that manufactures a kind of glass, a very specific blue glass. And I want to say they made it in sake bottles or something like that, in the gazillions. And so this is a story that's been told to me second and third hand. So they got all of this glass and they recycled them into these little shisa molds that they went into, and they're kind of fancy glass artwork, and they're very, very beautiful, very stunning. We could do the same thing, make laddie stones out of them, little carabaos, just all of the red rice, my mother, the South, cultural things that we can do with glass. You get these really good glass guys like you see in the amusement parks.
Yeah.
What are you making? I'm making little glass galaides. Wouldn't that be cool if we had like a glass kipua statues, little tiny glass kipua statues?
Yeah.
Just that's all the stuff that's popping around in my head. 888-825-5888 TALK is the telephone number around these parts. In 20 minutes, it'll be 9. I'll be right back.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutriWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutriWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Christmas is a very special time, but it can also be a very hard time. For the foster children Harvest House serves, it can be difficult and painful being away from their families and siblings. During Harvest House's Christmas celebration event, we hope that siblings living in different foster homes can join together to share in Christmas joy. We need your help to provide all 600 plus foster children with Christmas gifts. Help us make this a memorable Christmas for each of them. Harvest House will be accepting gifts until December 14th. Contact us at 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net if you have questions or want a suggested gift list. That's 300-5433 or email harvest.house@hbcguam.net.
Wow, that's trippy. That's trippy. Hey guys, I just tried commenting on the Facebook feed. It says, oh boy, I can't even make out that name. And it said I couldn't because the post was taken down. Rico Blancaflor says something wacky at Facebook. Can't post right now, flag. Can't post right now, flag.
Wow. Maybe it's them. Maybe it's Meta.
Yeah.
They've got
Am I
issues
saying too many nice things about Musk?
Maybe.
It's possible, right?
You heard his feelings. You heard Zuckerberg's
The Zuck's feelings? Odd. 841 on the Ray Gibson Show. 888-825-888 TALK. Coming up later on in the broadcast, everybody's going to move over to the Facebook side or the YouTube side, and that's fine. But coming up a little bit later on, we've got another very close, very dear personal friend of ours coming in from Gain. First met her, when was that, a couple of weeks ago?
5-6 weeks ago.
At least. All right. So there's the thing that they've got coming up here is a pet adoption event that's going to be taking place. Pet vendors are going to be there, gift baskets, food trucks. It'll take place at Gain up in Gigo this coming Saturday. Details are on the way. And if you are on the lookout for a pet for the holidays, absolutely perfect. And you're getting it from Gain, right? So these are animals that have, in the very least, have gotten some primary care going in and could make some great rescue animals. I am the proud owner of a rescue animal, my one-eyed cat that I got once upon a time, and I cannot imagine. It's been about a year and a half, I want to say, since I got that cat, and I cannot say how my life, I don't want to say has changed, but it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more adventurous than being a bachelor with a lady cat in the house, if you know what I mean. 18 away from the top of the hour. Dr. Ron McNinch joins me now. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Hey, how's it, Ray? How's it going?
It's on your mind, buddy.
I didn't know you were a cat person, Ray.
I could swing either way. I was actually thinking about getting a dog because there's a very handsome stray running around behind Mosa's. Just FYI. Good-looking dog, very, very friendly. And I was thinking about, it'd be cool to have this dog running around in the back of my house. But I've got a weird social schedule, and dogs, more than people are dog people. Dogs are people dogs, and it would just I wouldn't be around often enough, and I'd break that little doggy's heart every day. Oh.
Well, the thing that freaked me out about cats is that I think somebody did a study that said if a cat could eat you, it would. Have you ever seen that study?
What's his name? Ricky Gervais is a cat person, and that's a point that he makes in one of his comedy routines. And thank God that if they were any bigger, they would. They'd attempt it.
Right.
Yeah, because cats are little a-holes.
Right, and I think that's why people love them so much.
There's you certainly give up a degree of control with the cat. I'm hoping that the couch will outlast the cat's urge to claw at it frequently.
Right.
And everybody says, oh, you need to get a scratch thing. And I put a scratch thing right next to the couch, and now it has two things to scratch. And it just loves going from one. I put a little bit of catnip in it, and it'll go from one, and then it'll start scratching on the couch. This is going to be a good year. I think maybe next 2023 would be a good year for Kathy's Kathy Design, or Designed by Kathy, if you know what I mean. 844. Not a whole lot going on news-wise here today, which is why I'm going back on with celebrity birthdays and some of the other just kind of non-issue talk. Anything on your mind?
Well, I think that the legislature this coming session is going to be very different than previous legislatures, and I'm going to take a really close look at that and keep an eye on it.
Well, I mean, we've got some interesting and colorful personalities coming in. We've got we got a legacy guy with Will/Won't Parkinson that's in there. We got this St. Nicholas dude who most people know because they bought one of these solar lights from him or something like that over at the store again, the shopping center. But I don't know too much about him politically. I think we've got some other interesting names that have found their way back into the legislature. It is not as though Jesse Anderson Lujan was a quiet, retiring, shy flower in his previous years at the legislature, and I think there's a lot for him to chew on in the coming year. I guess the big question is, will continue to be, and I put it down in my notes here today, is the countdown for abortion laws.
Right. I think that's one. And then yesterday, I didn't get to stay at the hearing because it had a lot of people in it, but I wanted to watch a little bit of it. It kind of bothers me that people want to monkey around with the military about helping us deal with explosive ordnance on this island.
They look like they could be your former students, Doc.
No, not at all.
Okay. But my inference was that they were young and cute. Okay. Tell me when the poetry slam is. Do you think that maybe somebody's astroturfed that issue? Maybe saw an episode of what's his name on television talking about how bad these burn pits were and using that as a way to astroturf it and make it look like it's some kind of grassroots issue, even though most people probably have never heard of burn pits and may be only remotely aware that that's what happens with unexploded ordnance from the Second World War. As it gets bundled up, gets usually stacked up with some of the other stuff that they find a lot of, and then they safely and humanely dispatch them, rendering them inert and safe.
What really bothers me, two things. It's like there are government policies that people seem to get out of comic books somewhere. It just drives me nuts because we're a particularly special jurisdiction in that we had a major World War II battle here. And there even, I guess, just a couple of years ago, the intersection by Bank of Hawaii in Agana, they had like a major 500-pound bomb that was in the roadway there that they had to go clear out.
You remember they found one over by the courthouse a few years ago, and they emptied out a ring a half mile around it, including the Bank of Guam building, and I almost got arrested because I didn't want to leave the radio station.
Right. And what really bothers me is I wish our leaders would have more productive communications with particular stakeholders like in the military so that they can really understand these issues. That's what really bothers me. It's not that they want to do policy on it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the manner in which they seem to be trying to pursue policy.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not doing their job, I don't think, in talking to people. And by the way, because of COVID, for the last 2.5 years, there's been more junk passed at the Guam legislature than I've ever seen in the entire rest of the time I've ever been here.
Well, they certainly chew out a whole lot of spew out like Mauna Loa, a whole lot of what looks like interesting policy. But to 99% of the people here, I think it's inconsequential legislation that comes out. Here, you guys want to do something? Let's do a roundtable over at Public Health on why it's taken so damn long for businesses here to get inspected. Can we do that? and all of the hoops and things that people have to jump through for which make absolutely no sense to anybody but a public health bureaucrat. Same nonsense that we saw now continuing to be effectuated on the business community. People waiting on their inspections and can't move forward with anything. And then there are wildly different interpretations of what those policies are from one person to the next, which is why you can go into one business and you see something and you go into another exact same type of business. And everything is completely different there. So you need some of that. Got to move through that process a whole lot faster.
You want to hear my biggest pet peeve, Ray?
The San Ramon Hill. Somebody's got to go up there and just say, you know what I'm talking about, Real Joe. That
the wavy.
Yeah, got the ripples in the roadway.
Yeah.
You make that turn up from behind Academy and make that turn up because you want to go visit the governor at her house. And you get this, it looks like it's cobblestone. It looks like cobblestone.
Right. Well, my pet peeve is a little bit different. My pet peeve is that Guam is a unique and really in many ways a special jurisdiction. We have all the capacity, all the abilities to get changes and adjustments to any federal policy we want. And every time we turn around, our government believes it has to be in lockstep with the federal government because there's a national policy designed for large geographic jurisdictions. They're trying to cram into our little bitty jurisdictions. And to give you a little bit of a one-line contrast, Guam's 200 square miles. The average U.S. county, the basic political unit in the United States, the average size is 1,200 square miles. We're 1/6 the size of an average U.S. county.
But
and we have all of these major bureaucratic things that we have to deal with federally that we could ask for some exceptions on. And our leaders never think of that. They never consider that. They never even try to do that.
Well, but there's a flip side of that, and that is that oftentimes, regardless of the size, we look for best practices in those much larger municipalities and say, okay, well, this is what they're doing in Texas, so let's try this on Guam. And as a result of that, we often find ourselves, as was the case with the rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana. You remember how unwieldy that was? And now we've got the rules and regulations for recreational cannabis. And it looks like it is scaled for someplace Hawaii size, California size. And I'm going, dude, there's only 160 of us, 160,000 people on Guam. Why do we need to have so many rules and regulations on top of this?
Absolutely. And that's
so it's one of those that we all want to act like we're the next biggest town, and we're not.
We're not. And in a lot of ways, everyone complains about being a U.S. territory. The nice thing about being a U.S. territory is we can ask to be exempted from a whole bunch of things we never ask exemptions on.
You should.
Including the Jones Act. We've never articulated a major effort to deal with that act.
Oh.
We complain about it.
Yeah. Well, again, Jesse Lujan's going back in there. Maybe he might be able to make some headway. It's Republican on Guam. Murkowski's back in Alaska. There might be some centrist voices in Honolulu, because I know that they're tired of the Jones Act, that might be able to reach out to other members of the Republican majority in the House and maybe do something about it.
Oh, and by the way, Ray, I profusely apologize if I offended any political official by talking about what a horrible job I thought they were doing. I didn't mean to be insulting, rude, or belligerent at all in any of my words, and I do need to try to correct that if I may.
I don't know that I'm ready for an act of contrition every time we talk. In my thoughts and in my words and what I've done and what I've failed to do. I ask Blessed Raymond, ever virgin.
Sure,
I believe that. I do believe that.
All right. Well, we're all in the midst of our particular dilemma here, and that is what happened to the big chili over at the Mangilao Fun Fair. It's apparently been stolen, and the other thing is
high school prank.
No,
I don't think it's meth heads.
Could be. Where's that going to show up? Who's got a big championship homecoming game coming up soon?
Yeah, my uncle's friends hand carried their principal's car in the middle of the woods. They had to cut down all the trees to get it out of there.
Brilliant.
And in the 1950s. So high school students at this time loved praying.
Interesting takeaway from that. It's 8:55 in the morning. Listen, you have a fantastic rest of the day. We'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Always love your show.
All right, man. Appreciate it. 888-825-5888-TALK. I'd love to be able to say, hey, let me just check and see what everybody's talking about on the Facebook side. Okay, here's my theory. Remember earlier I was telling you that I got hacked? I'm getting messages from people saying, hey, I thought we were already friends. What, did you unfriend me and I don't know? So apparently the Facebook account has been hacked.
Oh, yeah.
And my Facebook account is attached to the streaming gizmo.
Our firewalls have been penetrated.
Yeah, I got that feeling. So this is, I hope it doesn't take a long time for them to unhack me, because now I'm going to have to figure out which one of you guys are going to have the credentials to do the stream. Back to Facebook.
Who do we blame, though, Ray? Who do we blame for hacking you?
Democrat majority at the 37th Guam legislature.
I knew it, man.
Wait a second. Who else can we blame? There's got to be somebody said Peter Santos. Come on, man.
Not Peter Santos.
And you lost to what's his name in that case? Anyway, so I'll see, but I can already tell. Wait a second. What about the FART? Is it possible I might have been hacked by the Facebook administration response team, the FART? Is it possible that they got in there, figured out how to get into my credentials? I don't understand how that would even be remotely possible.
Because your password is password?
Password is password, correct. But instead of an O, it's the letter 0 for the Anyway, and instead of a A, it's the @ sign. I don't know. All the tricks. But I don't know. I'll sort it out later on. You know what's going to happen is my account's going to come back. And it's going to change. All the people that I used to follow, it's going to have replaced that with Chinese escorts.
Perfect.
Like that are
porn.
Yeah, and porn or whatever.
And gambling.
Like they're doing up in China. 8:56 and a half on the Ray Gibson Show. Not a whole lot of time to spin anything up here. But if you're one of those guys that, like Ron McNinch, is looking at the front page of the newspaper going, man, what is this ban Pitt, whatever thing that they're complaining about over at the legislature, and now they're trying to make it feel like it's some kind of cultural imperative that we get out there and tell the military what they can and can't do with unexploded ordnance. Okay, we'll just leave it there when you find it, and then you guys can figure out what to do with it. In the meantime, I'm going to go to Moses with my hot wife. There. That's what the EOD guys are going to say. In the meantime, if you're looking for something else that we might be able to feel politically incorrect and guilty about, I got this from Neil Weir. It says a new study highlights the need for federal data equity in U.S. territories. What? Residents of U.S. territories are treated as second-class citizens in many obvious ways. They cannot vote for president. Guys never listened to Bob Klitsky's program, are denied voting representation in Congress, and are ineligible for many critical federal benefits programs. Which one? One area, what are they going to say? The social whatever security thing? One area that is often overlooked is how residents of U.S. territories are rendered invisible by unequal treatment in the federal statistical system, including the U.S. decennial census. With the 2020 census reporting a population of decline of more than 11% in U.S. territories, the need for timely and accurate data collection in these communities is more important than ever. A new study by the Georgetown Center on Poverty and Inequalities, Economic Security and Opportunity Initiative, and Equally America, titled Advancing Data Equity for U.S. Territories, seeks to spotlight the urgent need for treating residents of U.S. territories the same as residents of other U.S. jurisdictions when it comes to the census and other federal data collection programs. Did you know that did you know that there's another way that the colonizers are screwing the people of Guam by not counting things properly? We got to send the count from Sesame Street. And we'll send the count from Sesame Street up there. And 1 tomorrow, 2 chamorros, 3 chamorros. Or further complicated, we'll do it in the original Chamorro language. And then finally there will be justice. Finally, there will be equity. And yeah, you social justice warriors, I am rolling my eyes in your general direction. It's closing in on 9 o'clock in the morning. And justice and equity for the dogs and cats. That's what's coming up next. Home for the Holidays, a pet adoption event going to be taking place this weekend. I will throw details in your direction soon. And Joe, don't let me finish the program without getting some information on where everybody's eating Chinese for lunch. Almost an all-you-can-eat thing today over at GCC. Closing in on 10 o'clock, 9. Fox News Live is coming up next. I got to do the whole litany here. 93.3 FM is KUSG. I got ya. We are Pika's Best. This is The Point. Stand by for Fox News.
This is a Fox News alert. A split verdict. I'm Lee Silasera. The head of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers, is convicted for his role in the Capitol riot, but some of his co-defendants were acquitted.
The head of the Oath Keepers group, Stuart Rhodes, and co-defendant Kelly Meggs were convicted of seditious conspiracy for their participation in the January 6th Capitol riot. But 3 other group members, Kenneth Harrelson, Jessica Watkins, and Thomas Caldwell, were all acquitted on that charge. While all were found guilty of obstruction of Congress, Meggs and Watkins were convicted of conspiracy to obstruct. During trial, prosecutors highlighted text messages showing Rhodes had wanted then-President Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act, but had told members he was prepared for a civil war or rebellion in either case to stop the transfer of presidential power. A seditious conspiracy conviction carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
25 million people in parts of the South on high alert as forecasters warn of a potential for strong storms that could produce tornadoes.
We do see tornado watch now in place from Louisiana stretching up into Mississippi. Flash flooding, damaging winds, large hail, all likely with this system. And it's a large area. There is a bit of a bullseye there, but we are taking you all the way from the Gulf Coast stretching up into central Indiana, areas where you could see some of that severe weather. But really, the bullseye is largely across Mississippi, stretching just a little bit back into Louisiana and then up into Alabama.
Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. The Senate voting this afternoon on legislation to protect same-sex and interracial marriages, putting Congress one step closer to passing the measure. The House still needs to take it up. A new study finds the gun death rate last year hit its highest mark in nearly 3 decades, and the rate among women has been growing faster than that of men. The study published by the journal JAMA Network Open. Wall Street, the Dow up 3 points, the NASDAQ off 65, the S&P lost 6. America is listening to Fox News.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Want more internet speed, more mobile data, more TV, and more reliable phone service? Introducing the new GTA Choice Bundles. The more you choose, the more you save. And for a limited time, sign up for a new Choice Bundle with home internet service up to Internet 50 and get a free Roku Express. Or Internet 75 or higher and receive a $100 account credit. Visit GTA.net and get more choices, more savings with GTA's Choice Bundles. Conditions apply. See website for details. GTA, we start with you.
Some 40 million Americans had their private health information stolen or exposed each year, according to a new study.
Your medical history in the hands of hackers. Close to 50 million people had their medical data ripped off from 2010 to 2014. In the first 5 years, the data was collected, and that number quadrupled over the next 5 years, according to a USA Today analysis of Health and Human Services data. And it gets even worse as privacy breaches grew on the heels of the COVID-19 pandemic. The USA Today analysis also found hacking accounts for about half of all security breaches. 1/3 are caused by employee errors, such as lost computers or accidental disclosures. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Georgia has broken early voting records, and it's still a week out from the Senate runoff.
Things have been busy here in the Peach State at this polling location here in DeKalb County. So far, more than 468,000 people have cast their ballots during the early voting period here in Georgia. More than 300,000 of those ballots were cast on Monday alone, shattering the previous record for single-day early voting vote turnout, which was set in 2018. Polling locations have been busy. The turnout we've seen so far have led to considerable waits at some polling sites where people are waiting anywhere between 1 to 2 hours to vote.
Fox's Charles Watson. Regulators in Ireland have slapped Facebook parent company Meta with a $265 million fine for breaching strict European Union data privacy rules. The Data Protection Commissioner says Meta infringed on sections of the EU rules that cover technical and other measures aimed at protecting user data. Meta says data was scraped from Facebook and dumped online using tools designed to help people find their friends, though through phone numbers using search and contact import features. At the World Cup in Qatar, the U.S. national team advances, beating Iran this afternoon. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Farewell, ANZ Bank. You've been an excellent corporate citizen for 30-plus years. And yes, we're competitors, but we're sorry to see you go. Now let us address the bank's customers. Bank Pacific's arms are wide open to accept your banking needs, whether it be to handle your savings, commercial checking, merchant business, or consumer or commercial loan needs. We're open on Saturdays in 4 convenient locations and have excellent online banking services. And we're staying, for as you might know, where others put branches, we place roots. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
Pacific Points is turning 2 years, and we're giving away 2 million points. Imagine what you could do when you win up to 2 years worth of free Shell fuel, foodies products, or rebates on your IT&E bill. Receive entries into our monthly and grand prize drawings when you sign up for Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points at Shell, foodies, and IT&E when you refer your friends, and more. Go to PacificPoints.com for details and see more ways to enter. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamooni. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes 1 free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut home water softener system for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Oh, you know what you got to get from there? You got we got one in our kitchen area here at the radio station. Is we got tired of the thing with carrying bottles back and forth, and so I got one of those RO machines, and it makes hot water. I mean, it comes out so hot. You don't need the microwave to do your kimchi bowl, but you do have to eat it outside. There should be a rule: kimchi bowl outside, and the cold water is cold. I try not to use plastics. Which is going to surprise people. They're going to go, wait, you care? And yes, I care. Plastics, the less of it we need to use, the better. So what I like to do is if I do get a plastic bottle, I'll take it and put some of the water that I got under our American Water Tech machine and stick that in the refrigerator. So I got multiple uses out of the thing. See, don't you like me better now?
I love you.
Yeah, let's go. We're not going to explode ammunition anymore either. The Subway series, I want you to try it. All new menu of 12 chef-inspired sandwiches are available at all Subway locations here and in Saipan. Enjoy a whole new way to Subway. Simply order any Subway series sandwich by name or number, and Subway's sandwich artist will do the rest. At Subway, you can eat fresh. Ray Gibson Show, brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
Rediscover talk radio here. Your FM News Talk Superstation. This is The Point.
8 minutes after 9 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Ray here, and just thrilled as usual to be hanging out with you. It's a Wednesday program note. There's a very good chance I will only be able to do 2 hours worth of radio tomorrow because I'm Grand Jury Pool J. We have not missed a Thursday yet. There's apparently enough crime going on here that they need me to sit back and listen to about 3 or 4 cases of what the hooligans have been up to around here. And while it's a recent event, I hope that Jury Pool J gets to be a part of the determination of whether or not we're going to send a true bill up for whoever it is that ends up being busted for stealing the big chili at the Mingilao Carnival grounds. So you're aware in that story.
I heard about that, yes.
Oh, you did? Yes. It's certainly an amusing story in lots of different ways.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't know. That must have been an interesting.
Okay, so you're not from around. You're not from around these parts. Because the chili has another connotation.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay,
I'm
you're
familiar.
aware of that one. Oh, you just wanted to see if I was going to be a 12-year-old about it. Or, no, I was going to be serious about this. For heaven's sakes, this is not a fun prank. 9 after 9, Allie is in the studio. So you will remember the last time that she was here. And it's terrible. I can't put you on Facebook for some reason. They've my personal account has been hacked, but it's attached to the stream account.
I know.
And I don't honestly know what to do about it, so I'm going to have to go and find somebody that knows the Facebook's better than I will. But you are on YouTube Live, and you will be able to get another link to this, so you can share it with family and friends and everybody over at Gain. How has it been for you since the last time you were in the studio?
It's going good. You know, things are moving smoothly with the SNP clinic, and adoptions have been pretty good. But yeah, we're really excited about the event we're going to have on Saturday.
All right, I'm going to put this up on the screen for the YouTube and the point.gu folks can keep an eye on. It's called Home for the Holidays. And it looks like I've been to adoption things before, but this one looks like it's an adoption thing on steroids. There's so much more going on.
Yeah. We try to just make it as engaging as possible and bring in other parts of our community. So we've got some vendors who will be selling some stuff that are meant for the fur babies as well as us human babies, and some food trucks, of course. Yes, gotta make sure. Do
you have a list? Did they give you any indication of who food truck is going to be there?
So this is actually being hosted by PDC Wholesale. They're one of our newest partners, and they're donating dog and cat food to us regularly. So we're really, really excited about that. And they wanted to host this event for us.
So they did that.
Yay!
They're
doing all this. Yeah.
So you just sit back, right? I'll be there with the dogs and cats.
It's been pretty nice. Yeah, I really appreciate all the work they've done. So I do apologize. I don't know off the top of my head which food trucks will be there, but I know that there will be an equal amount of food and drink.
Okay.
And then we will also be offering some services through Department of Agriculture Animal Health Division. So again, the microchipping, rabies vaccines, the SNP clinic will be there for people to sign up if they want to get ready, their pets for surgery. Boonie Flight will be there if people have questions about shipping pets, if they want to volunteer, with short-term fostering. And then, of course, all the Gain stuff is not going to be there. Fostering for Gain.
Well, it's at
adoption.
Gain.
Yeah, it's at Gain. So all the questions about that will be there to help.
Will I be able to adopt a dog or a cat that day?
Yeah. For the most part, if an animal isn't able to go home same day, it's just because they need to wait for their surgery. We try to have the animals go home the day of their surgery.
Right.
But otherwise, a lot of our animals are already fixed. So most of them can probably go home same day. And if not, we'll be able to tell you what day they can get picked up.
What's the layout going to be like? I mean, because I know that we got Gain, but we've also got the gymnasium and the parking lot next door.
Yeah.
How much of one is going to spill over to the other?
So it's not going to be too big. The food trucks will be in the parking lot, kind of near the front gate. And then once you go right inside the front gate, we will have more of the vendors that are selling some of the goodies and stuff. And then in our breezeway, we will have kind of the services section. So SNP Clinic, Boonie Flight, and Department of Agriculture.
You'd mentioned volunteers and things like that. Great opportunity to go and find out about Gain and maybe, turn this into your big volunteer deal. There's a lot of people for a lot of reasons go, gee, I want a pet, but I can't have a pet, my apartment, my lease, whatever. But enjoy going up there and hanging out with the dogs and cats there.
Yeah, no, it's a huge help for the staff. It takes some of the weight off of the staff. And then obviously it's a big deal for the animals because they get that attention that maybe the staff, because they're working, they can't always offer. And yeah, we have some people that only want to spend time with cats, only want to
I know
spend
the
time
guy.
with dogs.
His name is
Totally.
Nate.
Yes.
His name is Nate. He's a buddy of mine, and we know that there are certain times of the weekend you don't bother him because he's up there. So what do you do up there? He says, I play with the cats.
Yeah.
And he'll just get 2 or 3 kittens and put them on his lap and just hang out with them all day.
Yeah, and that's really good for the animals. It helps get them used to a variety of different people, which makes them more adoptable.
Yeah.
And so it's just good for everybody, you know, and definitely for people who maybe can't commit to adopting, this is another way to still get that, you know, that TLC in.
I was gonna say, how are we on the supply of the animals? My guess is there's no shortage of dogs and cats that have been lingering over at Gain waiting for a forever home.
Yeah, definitely no shortage. You know, it's always kind of a revolving door situation between receiving animals from the public, government agencies, you know, animal control, all that. So, you know, we know that there are a lot of people on the waiting list, and it can be frustrating because it can take time, but it really is just dependent on what our capacity is like.
Yeah.
So obviously, the fewer adoptions there are, it can be harder for us to move animals around, but you know, we're doing the best we can as quickly as we can.
Okay, so there's a disconnect in my head, and I think you just made it wider here. I'm of the assumption that there's just we're overloaded with stray dogs and stray cats, and Gain is just so crazy busy with them, and there's a need for people to adopt these animals, and there's just not enough people stepping forward to. That's not the case. You are swamped with people that want to adopt.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, it's kind of a matter of them finding the ideal animal. You know, they might come to Gain with full intention of adopting, but if they don't find exactly what they're looking for, you know, we want them to come back. So it really just depends who's looking for what. Sometimes we are absolutely overflowing with cats, but lately our kennels for cats have been quite empty, which is not something we're generally used to. I mean, I'm doing okay with it right now.
Right.
But
you need to come to my neighborhood. I've got cats, and they found out that I throw leftovers in the backyard.
Yeah.
I'm composting. The word I'm composting these leftovers in the backyard. Anyway, the cats know cats probably have a better idea of my diet than my doctor does, based on all of the things that I'm tossing out there, and they go, "Oh, you went to Moses? Oh, nice." There's a lot of cats. So I'm thinking that there must be a lot of cats that are making their way up there, but apparently not.
The household cats definitely, but yeah, the ones that you're talking about are the ones that we do get a lot of phone calls, but those are the kitties that require trapping, and that's a whole ordeal. You know,
I couldn't do it to the cat that lives at my house.
Yeah, it takes time and effort, and some of them are very smart and they know how to evade.
There's I was watching a documentary about cats recently, and one of the things that we have learned in years and years and years of research with cats is that they will come when they're called. They know and respond to their name, and if they don't, they're ignoring you. That's what's happening with
deliberate disregard.
Oh, is there somebody else in the room here? Somebody's over there making some kind of noise about I don't know what it could possibly be about. Allie's with Gain, and we're here talking about a great event that could get a new member of your family in your home, and I hope you look at it that way. You're not adopting a dog just so you can have somebody that barks in the middle of the night outside. We'd like the dog, for all intents and purposes, to live in the house with everybody else.
Yeah, ideally, that's the goal, and of course some of the animals that we do have aren't maybe built to be indoors, and they maybe have been outside their whole life, which we are open to that. You know, we just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with the situation and that the animal will be settled, you know, in the best possible way. So we're always open to discussion. You know, we try to make the adoption process a discussion rather than an application.
Is it different for dogs and cats? The adoption process,
no,
they're
pretty
not
much the same. You know, we might ask different types of questions, but ultimately it's the same.
Because, like I said, there's certain attitudes that cat has, that the cat will have. Dogs, on the other hand, need a whole lot more attention, want to give a whole lot more attention, and interaction. So, I mean, questions like, how often are you home? Do you leave the house for days at a time? Because the dog probably won't like it.
Yeah. Hopefully not days at a time.
Well, that's why I don't have a dog. And we were talking about this earlier. One of my buddies was, says, "What, you have a cat? You never struck me as a cat person." I said, "I have a cat because number one, it was a rescue pet that somebody got, and I'm sure you've heard the story a million times. Is somebody got a rescue animal and then they got orders to leave and discovered that it was going to be difficult, if not impossible, to get that cat on the plane with them at the same time. So they reached out, and this my cousin Troy is going to get mad. They said, "Do you think cousin Troy might be interested in the cat?" And I said, "I don't know. I'll take a look at it." And I looked at the cat and said, "I'll take that cat."
Yeah.
Never mind, cousin Troy. I'll take that. It's a one-eyed cat, and everybody knows I got peculiarities with animals with a certain kind of character. So she's over at the house all the time, but she doesn't care what time I come home.
Yeah,
and
right.
she doesn't care if go on a camping trip with
Yeah.
my friends. As long as there's food, as long as there's water, and there's that spot by the window where she can lay, she's going to be fine. Dogs, on the other hand, I think would need a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Definitely
walking
a lot
and meals.
More, yes, yeah, a lot more involvement. The taking outside and getting that exercise. Cats, of course, too, but you can do that in a much smaller space, a lot more confined, situations. So a lot of those things, go into our conversations just to make sure that everybody's ready for the inclusion.
So somebody's listening to the broadcast right now and saying, "Okay, I'm sold. It's going to be Sunday is it Sunday or Saturday? Saturday afternoon at Gain, and that's up in Jigo. And if you don't know where it is, just get in your car, Marine Corps Drive, go all the way up. If you've hit the front gate of Anderson Air Force Base, you've gone too far. So hook back maybe a quarter of a mile or something like that. You'll see the gymnasium. Right next to that is where Gain is at, and they're going to be open for everybody. Now, if I'm coming by with the intention to go and maybe find a new animal to hang out with over at the house, do I need to bring anything? So I have to pay? Is there?
Yes. So there's the adoption fee, which is normally $125, but for Saturday it will be $100 flat.
Cool.
And all adopters will get a special goodie bag from PDC. And the adoption, the $100 will cover the adoption fee itself, the spay and neuter surgery, a microchip, as well as rabies vaccine. So that's a really good deal, have all of that done, for $100.
But we got the agriculture guys, so we can register the animal?
Yes, yep,
cool.
You can also do that as well. And then, of course, animals from the public can come, that haven't been adopted through GAIN can come to receive the microchip services, rabies vaccine, and all of that.
I thought it was like a play date we were setting up or something.
No.
Okay.
So people who have animals that aren't necessarily from GAIN can also come and receive the services that agriculture will be offering during that day. I think the only other real thing is, if you do have other animals at home that you might have concerns about how they're going to get along, we can arrange for meet and greets between the animals. We only will release cats, in carriers. So if you're really set on getting a cat or a kitten, if you're able to bring your own carrier, that really helps us out.
You'll know somebody that has one. This is Guam. Everybody knows somebody that's got a carrier or a kennel or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So really, other than that, bringing, the whole family who wants to be a part of the decision, if you can. And otherwise, it's just...
I was asking about sponsors, but it doesn't look like you need a whole lot more than just PDC. Meow. I'm looking at logos for Meow Mix, 9 Lives, Kibbles and Bits, Gravy Train, and Milk Bone. FYI, Milk Bone's not just for dogs. Not just for dogs.
What?
Gravy Train, also pretty good. I found... Because I'm, first of all, I'm a boy and I'm gross.
Okay.
But I've also found that if I don't like something, I don't think the animal... like my dog, I'd sample if somebody said, "Oh, you got to get this for your dog Mocha or whatever." Why? So I'd try a little bit of it.
I know some people that do that.
Won't kill you. Just eat it. It's like eating a weird tasting biscuit or something like that, a milk bone. And so you try it, and if you go, "Okay, well that's not so bad," then the chances are pretty good your dog's going to like it too. I've never done that with wet dog or cat food though. There's just FYI. And never take my sandwiches out of the lunchroom refrigerator. That's not tuna. That's cat food.
Oh dear.
No, but that gravy train looks good, Ray.
It does. You mix it up with a little bit of water. I get it. All right. So one more time, details. December 3rd is going to be Saturday at the Jigo Gain Center up there from noon until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
After 3 o'clock, you will have lost your chance at being able to snag these great deals for only $100. But it doesn't mean that the adoption process is going to end that day. You'll always be able to go and find. So now I want to get your opinion on this because you're the animal and stray correspondent of the program. There's a bunch of strays. Somebody dropped them off around here.
I just saw
Oh,
that.
you
The little
just saw
short,
it?
the short
yeah, little
ones.
shorties, the low riders. Yeah. Can you take them back to the office with you? Could you snap them out? Just get the mom, and the little ones will follow you.
I will do
like
my best. They definitely seem familiar with people who are parking. Yeah, they went right up to someone's car.
Yeah, they're like, "What do you have anything in there? So, do you have any breakfast? Any leftovers?" So we don't feed them here. I don't, and I know that the other tenants in the other buildings around here aren't feeding them either. But every once in a while, somebody will put a cup full of food in the front of the building, and I hate to be a hard case about this, but I don't want them here, and the landlord doesn't want them here, and Gain has been swamped, and the mayor's office has been kind of swamped, and I got to put up a sign here asking the Good Samaritans to be Good Samaritans somewhere else because it's encouraging the dogs to stay here, and we can't take care of them.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something that can be also addressed with animal control, and your particular location is a little scary because you are right on the road. So, you know, being careful about catching animals on the side of the road is a very tricky business.
Because they'll run out into the street, and it's Marine Corps Drive, and this is going to go sideways real fast.
But yeah, as a business, you absolutely can request that people don't feed in your area.
They were feeding around my house. I get it. There's people that want to help, can't take the animal in, but it's frustrating because I don't know that it's helping the animals either. It just makes things worse for everybody. I'm one of those guys that says, catch them, take them up to Gain, take them someplace, get them spayed, otherwise neutered, and then return them back into circulation, and we'll see how that plays. One other just kind of opinion question. If you've answered the question before and I forgot, then just answer it again. For the benefit of the listeners that have better memories than me. When it comes to, and I think I did ask this question, when it comes to the snip operation, there's my buddy Tom Poole used to be the territorial veterinarian. Said, we only need to do that with the girl dogs. Do you believe that same thing, or do you want to go after both of them? If we got two dogs here, a boy and a girl, both get the snip.
Yes, we are definitely of the mindset that both need to get the snip. Both males and females will go wandering for partners. It isn't just a one or the other. Males will, dogs and cats will travel miles, wide and far to go find a female who's in heat. But females also, when they're in heat, will go look for someone. So, it's...
And they're not like human beings or the way human beings are supposed to be. They're not tied to one partner for the rest of their lives. There's no little dog marriages.
That's why you get litters of pups that look so different. And they all have
yes, the characteristics of the Pop was a traveling dog, a traveling man. I see how that goes. And then they all tend to eventually, and I think this was another thing that Tom Poole taught me was eventually all of the dogs on Guam are going to look like those little lowriders outside. They will all kind of evolve into that because it helps them as they need to get around. They know all the easy ways to move through the jungle. They don't need sidewalks. And so they'll evolve so that they can make it through what me and my hiking buddies called the shiggy.
Yeah, it's possible for sure. But definitely get both males and females fixed. Snip Clinic offers it for $50. And, they're amazing at what they do. Both veterinarians, Dr. Turner and Dr. Smith, are awesome vets. They can answer questions.
Feels like they're here permanently now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Dr. Turner is the new territorial veterinarian, so she is here. And then, Dr. Smith is here for the foreseeable future. And we're really excited about that. And we have lots of goals for the future, helping out other islands when we can. And so, we want to catch them all, male and female.
We got the closing of the year, opening of 2023 before too much longer, and a lot of businesses are going to be thinking about different ways that they might be able to help outreach in the community. Maybe they've got dog and cat food to give away. Maybe they've got some money that they might be able to endow to Gain. How do they do that?
Well, you can always contact us on social media through Facebook or Instagram, or give us a call at 653-4246. One of the really easy opportunities for companies, if they do want to get involved but just aren't really sure how, we offer kennel sponsorship. So there's different kind of a tiered price breakdown, but they essentially adopt a kennel, and they can choose if they want puppy, dog, cat, kitten, and we make a plaque for their company, and they can have their logo, any type of design or words on there that they'd like, and it just shows the community that this business and organization is supporting this nonprofit.
Good for everybody.
Cause. So
Good for
yeah,
everybody.
just contact us and let us know you're interested, and we'll get you going.
All right. Well, listen, this happened again. You did not contact me directly. Kyle reached out and said, do you want Allie in there? So, you know how to find me, my social media, even though it's hacked.
Yeah.
But reach out anytime you need to get on some airtime, and we'll be happy to do that. All right?
Thank you so much.
Pleasure is always mine, Allie. It's 9:27 in the morning at Ray Gibson Show. Probably going to continue yonder after these words.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chalon San Antonio, Suite 204, Timaning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hoffaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pica's Best of 2022.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's Hoffaday service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tuman location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutriWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutriWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Whoa. So I'm looking at my phone on the Facebook. It's so weird, so frustrating. I'm gonna have to. I feel like I'm gonna have to do like a long social media change of address thing in order to be unhacked. I mean, this has happened to other friends of mine before, and in many cases, they've just said, well, then screw Facebook. Just left it. Never mind. I'm moving out of the neighborhood. I can't take it anymore. But we still got to figure out how we'll be able to maintain the stream. As I said, we got things set up, and a lot of it is attached to my account on Facebook. So we're going to have to see if I can create another account that will allow us to put the stream on the Gizmo. I'll work on all of that. If there is an issue, you'll find out by 4 o'clock this afternoon if Bob Klitsky is only on ThePOINT.gu, which you'll always be able to watch us on, and what's YouTube. Be able to catch us on YouTube as well. Those are completely different, separate entities. But we'll work through. What a frustrating kind of thing that is. But anyway, so it's forced me now in the break to take a look at my phone. And note number one, Jose Martinez is still actually watching the stream. He says, it's so weird. There's one viewer on the stream, and it's him. That is kind of strange. I thought they were going to eliminate the whole thing. The other weird thing, or maybe they realized I was hacked and have decided to go ahead and put things back together. The other thing is I got a friend. His name is Moten. And Moten has he bought himself a new rice cooker. And
Nice Tiger?
Huh?
Tiger rice cooker?
I can't tell who the manufacturer of it. 2 copyright blocks were applied, so Facebook killed the feed for all the users. I don't know what that could have been. I don't know. It was sorted out. The rice cooker cut down on sugar when cooking rice. I cannot make out the make or model of it. And somebody commented and said, I need one of those. He says, well, you need to go to Japan and get them. So I'm going to see if I can get some translations on this. It looks like it's a traditional, it looks like it could be a rice cooker / slow cooker / sous vide. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend up on something like that, might as well get one like the other one that does 25 different things on it. 931-888-8255, 888-TALK. My very close, very dear personal friend. Wow, I haven't talked to this guy in a while. Ken Leon Guerrero online. How's it, Kenneth?
Good morning.
Hey, well, kind of, sort of. I got early word that I was hacked, and now it looks like there might be some other issues affecting the feed here.
Yeah. Well, that there's a reason why the stock is down, like 45, 50% in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be part of it. The other part of it could be Neil Weir and his amazing challenge that he feels that the people in the territories are undercounted. You know, maybe he ought to look at the fact that the economies in the territories have been crashing for a few years, and thousands of people have been leaving Guam.
Oh no! It's far easier for some people to just blame the colonizers. I don't know. I mean, they're not counting us properly, and I'm almost positive I saw something like this elsewhere that wasn't pointed to us in particular. Maybe just general communities in general, as they say.
Yeah. Well, you know, the independentistas need to get their facts straight. The colonizers were the Spanish. You know, we just took over the lease, you know.
They took over the league. Well, they won the war. I don't know. Like I said, at the end of that spiel, I just kind of said, guys, I'm rolling my eyes in your general direction.
Yeah. When we look at situations like that, you know, there's just some people, you know, that want to challenge, you know, want to chase the impossible dream. Rather than deal with the problems that they have facing us, they want to take on an impossible challenge. That way they get perpetual employment at 6 figures, trips to the UN on a regular basis, and now they get trips to Belgium as part of UNPO.
Hey.
You know?
Hey, how about that? Well, I was wondering about something else I saw. Speaking of the United Nations, there's a story. In fact, one of the newspapers has a little bit of it where the United Nations wants to put the Great Barrier Reef on the endangered list. Did you see that?
No.
It's out there, and you know, you'd think that, because kind of liberal sometimes the Australians, you would think that they'd be like, oh, okay, that's a good idea, but there's a lot of places that rely on Great Barrier Reef tourism, who might have to face all kinds of new and difficult hurdles before they're able to continue with their Great Barrier Reef tourism, because now it's endangered. Which means we're not going to let you, dive there. We're not going to let you put these, and they have these big, massive diving platforms just off of Cairns. There's this massive diving platform that they have erected, totally safe for the reef and the environment. But you can helicopter rides from there, and you can do zip boat rides, and obviously you can dive down in there. It's not terribly too deep in that particular area. And they take out boats that have got hundreds of people a day on them.
Yeah, a similar thing happened in Northern California when they discovered the spotted owl and destroyed the economy in Northern California when they made logging damn near impossible under the restrictions. I mean, even the tree farms got hammered, because here are these areas that have been logged and replanted several times, and they couldn't even go into the tree farms and log because of the restrictions they put in. I see the same thing happening on the Barrier Reef.
Yep.
Pretty soon you won't be able to dive.
Somebody just got to go, wow, hey, stop helping, man. What are you going to do with all the people that had livelihoods that were attached to that? Well, just get them to stand in line behind the old Twitter, YouTube, and Meta employees.
Yeah, really. I mean, if the economy is doing so great, why is Amazon laying off 100,000 people between now and January?
Supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Supply chain issues. There's, maybe they've just taken a cue here from Elon Musk that has eliminated a significant percentage of his employees, yet Twitter is still working. I have not had any major problems getting into and out of Twitter. I'm not seeing what the critics had said was a windfall of pornography, escort services, and gambling solicitations coming out of China. Maybe we just get a different Twitter. I don't know, because I hear these things from some people, and I'm like, well, in my version of Twitter, I'm not seeing any of this stuff. I am able to search for and find videos of the crackdown against the protesters in China. What do you think of that?
I think that is incredible. I remember, I'm old enough to remember watching The Tank Man.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, we're seeing the same kinds of things happening, and the fact that people are not even wearing their masks, they are so full of it now that they don't care that authorities know who they are, and they are broadcasting with their faces in China. That shows how serious this is. I expect that we're going to see a regime change from within take place in the very near future here, because now it's spreading to every major city in China, and when they've got the army driving tanks down the middle of the streets in an effort to stop this, regime change is getting close.
Xi Jinping just exerted a significant amount of political power at the party's meeting recently. In fact, seems to me it had more than one or two people that were escorted out of the meetings. Basically, him saying like what's his name in Godfather? Sorry, I don't need you here. You go over there. You're going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. And that's the way it looked to me. And I'm wondering if some of these people have been seen since they were escorted out of the Great Hall. 9:38 in the morning. Ken LG, you've been watching now, and you're part of the candidate group there, and I know that you and Harvey Egna have been keeping track of what's going on at Guam Memorial Hospital, and what just feels like a questionable platform this Med Health group was participating in, and then apparently it went away. Then apparently somebody over at the hospital said, "No, we'll no longer need your services." Thought the timing on that was odd.
Well, it's really interesting because they back in September or October they renewed the contract, and then after Candid, myself, and Harvey Egna jumped all over this and started raising the concerns with the public, then all of a sudden, allegedly November 3rd, the contract was canceled, but they didn't announce it until just after the elections were certified.
After the elections are certified, oh.
Yeah, so we're still going to keep up the pressure on it because, that was almost $4 million that was illegally diverted from the operations of the hospital. And I'm so upset about that because, remember, for years we've been trying to get labor and delivery fixed. And when we first testified in 2010, the bill was $4.5 million. Then it got to $5 million.
Yeah.
Then it got to $7 million. Now it's up to $10 million. And yet they can't find the money to do that, but they can give $4 million to a bunch of guys in Dallas, Texas for doing absolutely nothing. That just upsets me to no end. And I'm going to stay on top of this. I'm going to petition the new Attorney General to recover the funds.
Boy, you guys going to be busy that first couple of weeks, huh?
Yeah. The list of things that this current Attorney General dropped is a very, very long list that has ended up costing taxpayers many tens of millions of dollars. And the only victory lap he was able to take during his tenure was that he signed his name to a letter along with 54 other attorney generals, and he got a $2 million chunk of change that he would have gotten even if he hadn't signed that letter.
Oh, come now. I think you're being too critical. I mean, just this very morning, I read a story that came out of the press office at the Attorney General's office that was crowing about how they got a conviction on this, was it Tovez, A.J. Tovez guy that robbed the money changer up in Harmon? Yeah. I think what they were actually really saying was that we beat Peter Santos.
Well, when we look at all the things that this Attorney General didn't do, and I'm so glad to see that Doug Moylan is back in the office. I've had a couple of conversations with him prior to the campaign and during the campaign, so I'm really excited. Because we have a legislature that I'm going to wait and see whether or not anything's changed. But when you got, 80% of the same people in, I don't see a lot of things changing there at the legislature. So there's no hope for the people of Guam unless Doug Moylan stands up and starts enforcing the laws. Because we know this legislature over the past 2 sessions hasn't done anything to make the life of the people on Guam better. I mean, their number one claim to fame is we banned plastic shopping bags. You know?
That's progress,
And
man.
balloons.
That's progress, bro.
Yeah, you can't have balloons at a funeral anymore. So we got 2. Oh, wait, there's a third one. We have to post notices and prepare a $500,000 pamphlet on swimming against the current, the dumb swimmer law.
Oh my God! Yeah, we're there. 9:42 in the morning. Listen, my phone is going off. I'm being teased on a couple of other topics I need to get to before the top of the hour. So I'll talk to you again soon. Keep an eye on all of that. I think there's some breaking stories that yet to come out from there, and I hope they don't give up the ghost on that. And frankly, it would be interesting to see if any of the other media is going to back you guys up on that and help out with the investigation.
Yeah. There's media here on Guam. I thought there was just press. I thought there was just a public relation firm.
The control, what is it? Control A, Control C, Control V. Cut and paste. 9:43 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. I got to let you go. You have a fantastic day.
Okay, bye.
Right on. And now you might be listening, going, well, big mouth guy is in the radio, giving the hardworking men and women of the journalism business here on Guam a hard time for cutting and pasting press releases and things like that. When is the last time you went out and did any kind of journalism there, Gibson? And the answer is, I'm not a journalist. I've never pretended to be a journalist. I know how to do it. I went to school for it. But I decided a long time ago that I was going to have more fun goofing off and doing political comments and smart-ass comments on the radio. I far more enjoy that than getting into the deal. Now, I do know that when there's both sides of a story, we ought to allow for a conversation about both sides of the story, and to which I say the telephone number is 888-8255-888-TALK. If you think that we've got too much of one side, the candidate side, the Ken Leon Guerrero side, and you want to go on and clear the air by giving me more gas on your side, you're more than welcome to. There might be a couple of challenge questions out in all of this. Might need to do something like that. At any rate, so you got the telephone numbers. Don't be shy about using it. So the phone's going off, and I'm getting a whole lot of. A buddy of mine is at the Micronesia Mall and is sending me all kinds of pictures of Landon and Brandon's latest projects there. The Towers for Tots, the deal that they've got out there, and everything is just about all done now. They've kind of cordoned off the area with some tables, but great opportunities to take pictures of the incredible towers. What have we got? Empire State Building, the Willis Tower. Some of you have been to Singapore and have seen the Marina Sands.
Oh yeah,
which is incredible. Yeah, with a big platform on top. That God, I love Singapore. We were just talking about Singapore with a friend of mine. But here's the thing. The idea is to get some donations for Toys for Tots. You're in the mall. There's stuff. Buy an extra thing and stuff the Toys for Tots bots that they want to have in there. Nobody's getting paid for this effort. We got a couple of world record holders that are out there doing this just for the community. So if you get a chance, swing out there and go and take a look at what they've done. Grab a couple of selfies in front of them and help out. The incredible talent, as they say. Those twins are outstanding members of our island. They contributed in many ways. Interesting, it's a pair of twin meteorologists would be assigned together here. And all of the other incredible talent that the pair have. They're also musicians, FYI. They also do that kind of thing. Anyway, 946, 888-8255, 888-TALK is the telephone number. Are you looking? No, looking. Are you? Is the question. Are you? There's a couple of anniversaries that I kind of want to go over here. And I think I'm kind of going to go over them after these. No?
Subway just dropped an all-new menu of 12 sandwiches. They call it the Subway Series.
The Subway Series has 4 new categories of subs: cheesesteaks, Italianos, chicken, and clubs.
With a sandwich series like that, I'll be a happy Subway cereal eater.
And Subway is a new way of ordering, too. You can order the Subway Series sandwiches by name or by number.
So I can just say number 5 for the Bella Mozza? Hey, that's a whole new way to Subway.
You could, but the better choice, number 8, the Great Garlic.
It's the new Subway Series. What's your pick?
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 Visa gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
888-255-888-TALK. What am I? I'm looking at the meme machine. What have we got? I got people saying you're not live streaming on Facebook right now. We're listening through radio and YouTube, but no stream on Facebook. The update on this: the account apparently has been hacked. I got word earlier from people that were saying, "Hey, I just got a notice that we want to be friends, but we're already friends on Facebook." And it's possible that there is a connection to that. Also, getting word from Jose. Was able to look into a couple of other things. There's apparently a couple of copyright violations that are tagged to us in the last, I don't know, hour or two that I'm aware of. I don't believe that we've played anything that has any kind of copyright on it.
I
We're
hope
generally
it wasn't that Christmas stuff, man. But that came from
the thing. Yeah, it came from, and we're licensed to have all of that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll see. Might need to make a complaint. Might need to go all the way through and just make some pretty serious changes, which could impact our ability to Facebook Live with you because everything is connected. To me in the shops here. So I might have to figure out how to separate one from the other and get the stream going. Looks like I've got my work cut out for me today. At any rate, so I did want to take a minute and talk about some of the other things that are in my head. It is, as I refer to from time to time, the small talk portion of the program. And usually among the small talk portions of the program, I'll find some things that I think are interesting to a certain age group, a certain kind of us-ness. That's out there, and I saw something today, and I thought, my God, has it been Pong, the game Pong? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I loved it, man.
It's 50 years old.
Played it long.
50 years old. It's the game of Pong, maybe one of the first of the ultra popular video games because they had video games. I remember, I don't know, I was 14 or 15, and Uncle Jim came back from Japan with a video game player, and the thing it was long, kind of figure a couple of keyboards side by side, and it had a switch, and it had a weird ruddy connection to the back of the television set. You remember like your original Nintendo, your original Atari things. This had one of those. So we had to figure out how we were going to interface it to the television and then plugged it in. And it didn't have handled, separate controllers. The controllers were built into the little console device that you were playing on. And so you could play Pong by yourself, or if you wanted to, you scooch over on the couch, and then somebody else can play on the other side. But all the controllers were right there on the thing. And I recall one of the games that came with it. There might have been 5 or 6, but they were all basically variations of Pong. and that was kind of it. But Pong turns 50 years old. It began table tennis in black and white. The classic video game, one of the first to reach mainstream popularity, was released November 29th back in 1972. It was not the first commercial coin-operated video game. That accolade belongs to Computer Space, which I don't recall at all. Prior to any of that stuff, back in the early 1970s, coin-operated video games were the way that you played, and they used to have some really good ones over at the Hilton. God, I got to close my eyes and see this. It is on the way to the Islander Terrace now, but that used to be outdoors. That used to be an outdoor area on the way out to the Tree Bar. You got the set of stairs. You remember that curving set of stairs that came down, opens up into where the old Chicken Lips lights, not lights, but Chicken Lips and 10-4 Disco eventually ended up at.
Yeah.
Juliana's was the name. And underneath the stairs, kind of in the corner of it, was where they put the video games for all the little kids that were staying in the hotel or people that were bored, couldn't find a date inside Juliana's to go and hang out with. And I recall that they used to have some pretty good computerized games from back in the day. First to really take off with the paying public, spawning a host of imitators, and then that was part of the original package of the Atari games that went into everybody's houses because we were all spoiled brats. That was back in the day when everybody had money, and it didn't matter how much something cost because we would always justify, no, Mom, I won't spend any my quarters at the store anymore. I won't ask you for $1 every time we go to King's. I can just play it here at home. And then you went out and you bought more cartridges and had some pretty interesting things that were out there back in the day. You can go to Sidelines right now. Sidelines has a video game machine there that has virtually every single video game from your childhood in there, from Pong, all the big karate games and the tank games and the airplane flying games and all of those games that we used to play back in the day in all these different mom and pop places. They exist in that machine. And I want to say, there's no football today, so they're probably going to be opening it, but at noon at their regular time. I said football. I meant NFL football. I didn't mean the World Cup, which the United States of America is apparently still in. That was a big story that came in you'll be able to hear it again in the Fox News Live here before too much longer, including play-by-play by President Joe Biden. At any rate, so they were they had to beat the Iranians. They couldn't have tied the Iranians. If they tied, then the U.S. was going to be out, but they beat the Iranians 1-0, and they get to stay in the game now. And maybe might be worth, because I know how I am with sports, it might actually be worth taking a look at the brackets now and seeing how things are looking. Who's still alive? Who's still playing? Is Germany in? Is Japan still in? What about Brazil? And I think there was a big game with Brazil. I don't know anything about soccer that I didn't learn from the Ted Lasso TV show. And where is Ted Lasso? You'd think he'd have a little bit more to do, a little bit more of a running commentary on what's going on in Qatar. With the World Cup. At any rate, one other thing that is worth celebrating an anniversary for is text messages. Can you imagine life without text messaging now? No, absolutely not.
I don't want life without it.
If I can't have
talk to people.
How long can you stay away from your WhatsApp? How long are you good for without WhatsApp? It may be the only reason why I still have not made a move away from, and I probably should have taken advantage of it a couple of weeks ago, but I don't want to make changes to my WhatsApp lifestyle. I've got all of my groups, my starred messages. I've got everything exactly the way I want it. Now, every once in a while, somebody says, well, I'll hit you up on the messenger. I'll just text it to your phone number. And I'm going, why? Why just use the WhatsApp? It's there. Or Line if you're an Oriental. Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
I know, uncancelable. So you got that, you got Line, you got the Messenger on your Facebook, and there's any number of different ways you can communicate any way you want to. But there was a time where you could not. If you had a phone, you could make and receive a telephone call. That was pretty much all you could do with your cellular devices. And somebody figured out how to piggyback some messages on that. And that was about 30 years ago. It's the anniversary of the first text message ever sent. Guy's name was Neil Papworth, 22-year-old test engineer for an outfit called the SEMA Group, SEMA. He sent the first text to a mobile phone on December 3rd of 1992. First of all, what the hell? 1992 was 30 years ago? Really?
That's crazy.
1992 was last week. I don't know what you're talking about. 1992. Couldn't possibly be. I've still got underwear from 1992. Are you telling me that stuff's 30 years old? Unbelievable. His personal computer, he went through the Vodafone network to the telephone of a guy named Richard Jarvis, and the text message read, because remember, he sent it in December 3rd. It read Merry Christmas, and that was the absolute basis of where we are today. 888-825-5888-TALK. I suppose that might be enough for the small talk. Program note, I'm probably not going to be here this time tomorrow. Please keep the applause down. I have not gotten the blurb yet. It probably won't happen until later this afternoon. But there's going to be a blurb that's going to come from the court, and it's going to say, "Please come here at 8:30 tomorrow so we can get things started in the jury pool J." And I'm kind of looking forward to it. We didn't have it last week because Thanksgiving, and frankly, I miss some of these guys. Most of them. And especially some of that was always perfectly timed. 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and it had that feeling like at Catholic school when they let you out for break, and then you go see see Sister
feeling.
Break. You remember that?
Yeah.
All this
Break
stuff.
time.
I know. Yeah, Butchie, do you have empanada? Sister, come on. Can you get empanada tomorrow? 9:57 and change. 888-825-888-TALK. Oh my God, still going off on the thing. The last couple of minutes I'll devote to kind of eulogizing somebody. There's a ad in one of the newspapers, an obit ad for a guy named Norbert Perez. And Norbert Perez was God, he was good to me in talk radio. When I was just getting started, he'd already been kind of a fixture on talk radio. He'd call John Anderson all the time, whip out some crazy stuff. Good, cool conspiracy theories. But he was otherwise, and I'd met him outside of the venues and offices of radio stations. I'd known the guy, and I always thought he was probably one of the smartest guys that I ever knew. He had a huge mental capacity. The guy had bandwidth for stuff. He wrote a piece of software years before, in the 90s. He wrote a piece of software that translated English to Chamorro and Chamorro into English. And I don't know that anything like it exists today. He was the first one that did any kind of a dictionary program on that, and I thought he was amazing. He also did a thing, and you might remember this even more. He had kind of a Chamorro chant line, an 800-number Chamorro chant line, and I'm told that he made money hand over fist on this, doing chants out to people that didn't understand a word that was coming down the phone line, but they couldn't resist paying 50 cents a minute. Absolutely crazy. And then there's another one. If none of that rings a bell, how about the guy that wanted to have the wedding of the century? He wanted to marry Debbie Berdaglio. How about that? Is you starting to gel with the memory of the guy? He'd apparently been dead for a couple of years, but I guess according to the obit, they've brought him home for the services here. And it's one of those I might actually try to make. I'm not crazy about funerals, but he was a terrific guy and always thought very, very smart and great entertainment radio when it came down to it. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. The radio station you're listening to, maybe if you're watching on YouTube and ThePOINT.gu, KUSG, I got you 93.3. We are Pika's Best. This is The Point.
Millions in the path. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Parts of Louisiana, Mississippi,